You were picking on a guy weaker than you, weren't you, Jim?
I might say it's because you're a loser who's playing to an audience of children.
I'd like to join your posse, boys, but first I'm going to sing a little song.
He's the very best. He's the ruthless cowboy in the
Okay. Oh, fuck.
You have a bully cabal that you have created to attack people.
Outer heaven.
What else would you call it?
I'd call it the Swedish Squad. We spread hugs and love across the internet.
Bullshit. You know that's not true. You know what you do.
What am I? Name the bully.
No.
Name the bully for Bully Hunter will help you.
You don't want to build a wall. Instead, you want to use a military approach and run sorties over drug cartels.
Sure, and work with Mexico to rebuild its country. Yeah, sure. If we're going to invest money into something, why not in making Mexico better so that a bunch of fucking people don't run away from that country into ours?
Okay. That's brilliant.
This is like the ultimate condescending argument from somebody that's never ever been in a shitty position in their entire life. Like, I can't even believe
You don't
that
know
somebody.
what the fuck you're talking
I don't. You can't either that or you lack zero empathy or have zero intelligence.
I'm not part of your lying, doxing, harassing teenage fan club. I'm someone doing something in real life.
And I have an army of mercenary children wreaking havoc on web forums from here to hell and back.
You understand I'm a person, don't you? Do you think white people act like this? White people are meant to be polite and respectful to one another, and you guys can't even act like white people. It's really like amazing to me.
Jim, it's people like you that need to get a bullet to the head. Because you're promoting hatred, bigotry.
Oh, is it bigotry against pedophiles? Pedophobia. It's pedophobia.
You're low rent, low IQ trash. I was 100% right to call you a religious bigot. It's what you and your fans are.
But as a white person who is male, you're never told that there's anything you can do. You have no idea what it's like to be told you're not supposed to do that. That's not the kind of job for you because the sky is the fucking limit.
What I was saying was that there's this YouTuber that I admire very much that I used to admire, but I realized that his game is to punch down. But he always mocks people who are weak, who are small. I can't stand a big guy who bullies me or tries to bully me.
There is a toxicity that has developed among gamers.
Okay.
All right? It feels somewhat fascist in the way it's working.
That's amazing.
Hello, everyone. I see there's a little bit of confusion in chat. That's perfectly fine. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. Yes, Mr. Metokur is streaming tonight. This is on his channel. You may not got a notification, but if you go look on his channel, there it is. And I've also got the link posted in the comments. So tonight's gonna be a little bit different on my end. I hope you guys can help me. I think the microphone's good. Let me I hope you guys can help me. I think, yep. Okay. Microphone's good on my end. I've not boom-a-jimmed it yet. But it's going to be a little bit different tonight. I'm not going to have the usual crew here. Like Rogue. Rogue's opted out of this one. He's getting kind of tired of the Charlie Kirk stuff. Completely fine. I am too, sort of. But like always, it's like, I've always been known to stream Snipe Metokur since he's came back, and I'm going to go ahead and continue on with that. So I'm doing this on my own end. I will be having a couple people on. I know for a fact Mama Akko is going to be on. They have the link. They can jump in whenever they want. And speaking of which, I need to send out links of the actual stream. I'm live if you want to jump in. I know Mama Anko's got to be on, and I got to keep track on my end just to make sure, because so far StreamYards for me, whenever I used it last, never really notified me whenever somebody popped on and was ready in the back. So I'm gonna be watching it just to make sure. I'm working on trying to see if Purity Sin wants to come on. I know she has some stuff she's doing right now at the moment. Whether she can jump in or not, no idea. But she has a link. She can come on whenever she wants. And I've also got the link out to One Jewish Raging Bull, because I know he's a big Metokur fan. So if he wants to come on, he can come on. I don't know if any other member of GNF wants to come on. I know usually Pan sometimes may every now and then. Dragon sometimes may every now and then. Jim sometimes. I'll send a link out to them if they want on. But I'm pretty sure it's just got to be me, Arco, and maybe a couple others. So, till then, I gotta find something to keep you guys entertained with, because until somebody jumps in here, I'm not really good at keeping a crowd entertained by myself. That's one of the things I'm kind of lacking as far as, like, just streaming goes. I gotta have somebody bounce off of. See, I'm live. You want on live? There you go. Invites out. So, yes, Metokur streaming. Metokur streaming because he's kind of miffed about the whole Charlie Kirk stuff. He was taking a hiatus because of the whole 764 bullshit and people stalking, trying to fucking go to his house and do swatting events on him. He was taking some time off, but this whole thing kind of revved him up and sparked him up a little bit, and he's been going off on Twitter for like the last week now. So it's going to be an interesting show. It's going to be politically charged at times, possibly. Ooh, we got our first guest. Mama Akko, what is up? If this is your first time using StreamYards in a while, you probably have to exit, come back in, and allow all access. It should give you a notification. It's kind of stupid like that. Although I did hear your microphone for a moment. All right. Anyways, while Arco's getting their stuff situated and stuff like that, continue on is like, yeah, Jim's been going off a lot last week or so. Hang on a minute.
I think I fixed it.
Get it?
I think so.
I hear you just fine. As long as you can hear me just fine, we're good.
Yeah, the problem was that my audio was spectating to my TV, which was not what I wanted.
I absolutely fucking hate StreamYards.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I'm using it is because I've got multiple people that are not in my Discord. Or, well, I know you're not in multiple Discords with me and a couple other people, and it's just a pain in the ass to try to coordinate getting people on to not in the same Discord. So it's like, StreamYards, because I can throw a link out.
Yeah.
So, I hear you've been sick.
I was a little bit sick, yeah.
How you doing now?
I'm mostly better now.
Mostly better?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and you're getting ready to Yeah, you got some eventful things going on in your life right now too.
Eventually I'm gonna be moving. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you moved the first time.
Oh yeah. Yup. Now I'm hoping that the place I move to, I can be semi-permanent for a couple of years at least.
I mean, we can only hope. I mean, I've been permanent at the place of my residence right now for since 2019. And I have no plans on moving.
Yeah.
And even then, it's only 20 miles away from the place I moved from, which I lived there my whole life. And I still own that place too, so.
Right. I would say that I would only move away from the place I'm thinking of if I decide to buy a house. Or the person that currently lives there doesn't want me anymore. But the tenant I'm moving in with seems to not hate me, so that's a good thing.
That's always a good thing. It always sucks, moving in with someone and living with someone that just doesn't like you.
It's very
It makes
true.
things kind of awkward.
To be honest, the last time I moved in with somebody I didn't like, it was myself, and I'm currently living there. So,
Well, I mean, you kind of got the same issue if you move anywhere because you still got to be with yourself, right?
maybe it's a little bit different now.
Well, that's a good thing. So, while we're waiting for some other people to join in, if they do join in, I'm not entirely for sure if they're going to. I know they got things going on. They're also doing their archive recording of Jim's stream also.
Mm-hmm.
So, depends. I've been trying to get Purity on for the longest freak of time. It seems like times just never match up.
Well, I imagine that she doesn't do a whole lot of commentary during the stream. She just lets it go on, right?
Yeah, she just does the archiving, but she'll. It's not the fact that she doesn't want to do commentary during it, because she has before with people. It's just she has other things going on right now at the time. I'm not gonna say what because I don't believe she says what it is to people, but she has things planned. Usually on Saturdays whenever Jim decides to stream. Excuse me, when Jim decides to stream this stuff. So, it is what it is. I did give the link out to Bull, but I don't know what Bull's doing. He might
being Jewish.
He not jump on.
He's being Jewish. That's all you need to know.
He's being very Jewish. I've got a nice warm oven for him whenever he finally does decide to jump on.
Oh, I would appreciate it if you didn't. He just hired somebody, and it would really suck if they would have to get a pink slip so soon afterwards.
I could probably go two different ways with that one. One really, really slanted, and the other one kind of half-hearted.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do the slanted one. I mean, what's the difference with that and any other VTuber company so far?
I mean, the difference is that the current ours is owned by a Jew. That's the big difference.
And then the other one is, hey, you still have a second in command for it. So, and I think more things will probably get done if he took over. So, I mean, there's that.
Possibly.
Anyways, jokes aside, Captain Hook goes, Sparky is stuck with me. It's like, no, am I stuck with you or are you stuck with me? That's a trick question there.
Oh man, that's a rough one. Don't know how they can answer that.
Nah, I love Captain Hook. She's a lot of my life, last 10, 15 plus years.
Ah, okay.
But no, we got 20 minutes still. I like to do this stuff off early because I like to chat, at least let people come in. I know my streams aren't really that big, but I at least try sometimes.
All you can do is try.
Yeah. Well, the thing is whenever most of the stuff on my channel is usually done by Rogue.
Mhm.
So Rogue has my stream key, and whenever we do like we put Meta History on Mondays on hiatus for a bit because life's been too hectic, and both he and I have been just way too busy to sit down and really do it on Mondays.
Mhm.
But the either the gym streams, which he's not here today for reasons, or the GNF streams that we do on Fridays, he usually will stream out to my channel, his channel, and I think 3 or 4 other channels. But the problem is he doesn't go through and he doesn't tag or does any of the tagging on any of the streams or the videos. So it's just a stream with nothing on the tags or in the descriptions, and just a plain Jane GNF televisible and the date with icon. So they usually don't get out to much people, but also in the end day, we kind of really don't care.
Well, yeah, you've never really cared.
Yeah. So every now and then I'll get in there and I'll tag it on my end or turn monetization on, at least, because for whatever reason, if you use one of these other sites, it doesn't automatically turn monetization on a YouTube end. You've got to go in and do it manually, which kind of sucks. So whenever I do these streams, if I'm using StreamYards, it's kind of a big headache for me. If I'm using OBS, it's usually because either I'm doing something in my Discord or I'm doing video games, which I haven't done for a minute. But anyways, let me go ahead and get a hold of chat real quick. We do have MCK. I have not seen MCK in a couple months. Last time you said anything, you said you were going through some really bad health issues. I'm glad to see you still around because it sounded like it was kind of iffy there. And Deadpool. We all know Deadpool. And then we have Captain Hook, my wife. We have about 4 or 6 people fluctuating at times. Go ahead, try pipe up in the chat. Let me know. I know most of you guys like to look, but some interaction's kind of fun at times also. But on that note, let's talk a little bit about Jim. What do you think he's going to cover? Well, we know what he's got to cover, but
I think he's going to cover Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, he's got to cover Charlie Kirk, but how do you think he's got to go about it?
I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how he's going to cover it, honestly.
I have a feeling it's got to be one of those ones that after the stream's done, I'm probably gonna have to hide this live stream.
It's possible.
Jim.
I was tempted to leave him a super chat and say, "Hey, did you see what Dev said about this?" Because I know that he'll take any chance he can to make fun of Dev.
No. Oh no.
But I didn't. I was very tempted to.
I was very tempted to also. I mean, we kind of touched on a little bit of that last night with, some of his BS. But, besides from that, I've been laughing. I've been laughing at some of Archer's stuff. I loved his video he did the other day. I mean, about 7 minutes in, he just mogged the ever-loving fuck out of Dev.
Yeah, I think people are convinced that he's getting tired of Dev. I'm not sure I believe that too much. It's one of those things where I don't know. Perhaps he is.
So I almost want to say it's kind of like a frenemies deal, almost a little bit. So I can get to that point.
You think so?
Well, I sit down and watched the stream with Sargon and Arch last week, and they got to a point where somebody brought Dev up, and Arch is like, yes, and Dev better know that this is not the time or place to do this. He is very stupid if he says anything.
Well, I think they both know how since Sargon knows Dev, they both should know.
Yeah, Sargon even said, he's like, he has nothing but wanted to look out for him, but some of the stuff that he says, he just kind of needs to tone down on. And it's like, that's kind of, I don't know how to feel if that was coming from Sargon. Just in general. But
I
it's like,
think a lot of these people were friends for a while, and as time has evolved and politics has evolved for them, some people have chilled out and some people have gotten worse, and you can tell who's gotten worse and who's gotten more chill. Dev has definitely gotten worse, in my personal opinion.
he has. Well, and it's like, watching Arch and stuff, and it's like, I mean, I've never thought I'd say that Arch has pretty much the correct take in this, but Arch has the correct take in this, and it's like, it's his speaking on this stuff is like, kind of resonates with me. I always took Arch for like kind of a lefty, but I'm starting to think the other way now.
Oh no, I've seen Arch from the first moment I kind of saw him. I was like, oh no, this guy is definitely way more reserved, kind of more conservative, right-leaning individual. I've always kind of seen him as that, so it's not surprising to me.
Every time I've seen him, he's always. It's like one of the things that kind of irritated me the most is whenever they started talking about the FEMA bullshit with North Carolina and the wildfires and the hurricanes. I think it was North Carolina that they were talking about, and how we need to trust FEMA and stuff like that. I'm sitting there going, no, get FEMA the fuck out of this. Do not allow FEMA to come in and just give any support to the fucking local governments. Do not bring FEMA in, because I have dealt with FEMA 4 different times in my area because of floods that we have. And all the thing FEMA does is fuck the people over. Same with the fucking First Cross. Red Cross, not First Cross, Red Cross. So it's like, I had my own experiences with FEMA, and none of them good.
Of course.
Local funding is 100% easier to process and probably gets the job done than relying on FEMA. FEMA sucks. Yes, Hero. Yes. FEMA does suck, and it does make it a lot easier because FEMA requires you to go through a lot of fucking red tape. And it seems like whenever FEMA comes in, they want to take everything over. So whenever I was with the fire department in my local area, and FEMA came in, they'd always try to shut down any of the local departments and shoo us out so they could take over. And then once they take over, they only call on us if they need something. And it's like, no, the way it should be is the local departments and helpers are in charge, and you come in to help them out. And then once everything's done, then you go away. But yeah, every time I've dealt with FEMA, it's been a disaster and pain in the ass. You poor so I only had to deal with them once. Unfortunately, I live in an area of Oklahoma that is prone to a lot of rains and floods. And unfortunately, the floods are caused not primarily because of rain in this area, but like in different areas. And then them during the summertime, the leading up in the springtime, mid-summertime, and ending of fall, the local authority that runs the dam likes to flood or elevate the water level for sports fishing. But the problem is they don't take care of the lakes. They don't dredge the lakes. They don't take care of any of the waterways. So whenever they do that, every year the flood dynamic changes. It will flood worse in some areas than it has in other areas, and the next year it floods a different complete area than the next area because the water table just changes all the time. If you look on my channel, I believe around 2019, if you look at my channel, I've got videos around my house of when it flooded, if anyone's interested about that. But it's like, I'm so pissed off that list that they made whenever they were doing stuff in North Carolina. That has been taken care of. I remember right. A couple heads did roll on that one, and I believe FEMA did change a lot of the operating procedures because of it. So some good came out of it, but yeah, it's absolutely fucking despicable. You probably haven't had to deal with a lot of natural disasters, or probably you have.
No, not really. Not really, honestly.
Not really. All right.
I lived through one hurricane in Houston, and that was about it.
One hurricane. I've not been through a hurricane. I've been through a couple tornadoes, but I've not been through a hurricane. I've been through runoff from a hurricane. Whenever they come up the Gulf and they impact, whenever they impact the Louisiana area, and it's a strong category 4 or 5, and it's in the middle of summer, usually those hurricanes will track up north, and usually I get hit with the runoff of that. That brought back down to like chance. Stop. Hang on a minute. Chance. My dog's behind my desk, scratching because he's got itch and keeps hitting the desk.
You're good.
And Rage is busy doing IOL stuff. So if you all right. Well, while we're waiting for this, why don't you tell me a little bit of what's going on? Because I got to talk to the new hire for Lucky a little bit. I got invited in to talk a little, but I'll let you, if you want to talk about that a little bit.
I'll be honest with you. Miko is somebody who I am not really that well versed with. Mizu is more of her friend than is mine, but she's somebody that I know Rage has wanted to hire for a while, but there were circumstances that people wanted to check out before she was given the pass, basically.
The pass.
Yeah.
So I take it she got the pass.
Yeah, I guess so. I really never had any issues with her being here. I just know some circumstances made people want to make sure that things were fine.
Gotcha. No, I understand that 100%. I'm known of Miko, a little bit. Whenever they told me who it was, I went to go look, and it's like I'm following them and they're following me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
What I don't remember when she followed me or I started following her. I think it's been a couple months ago, actually.
Yeah, she follows a lot of people, although she's working on I believe on her follower list. Is she mostly on Twitch? I think so. I think so.
I think she streams to Twitter, Twitch, and I think she's got a YouTube channel.
I think so, yeah.
Let me look at a quad.
That's the lucky card.
Yeah, one that everyone's been a couple of the mods have been working on. They've been doing a good job of it.
Oh no, yeah, it was a lot of love put into it.
Twitch. Yeah, Twitch is primarily her main one. She does stream to Twitter. Actually, she's streaming right now.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah. It looks like she's streaming Brown Dust.
Oh gosh, Brown Dust.
Brown Dust 2.
That's that porn game.
Oh.
Well, it's not a porn game, but it's like, you know what kind of game it is.
Gotcha. So Rage hired in another person that he said was wholesome. That's not really.
No. Don't. It's like it's like playing Nikkei.
Gotcha. I was gonna say the only games I really play is, like I said, Elite Dangerous, 7 Days to Die, Power World. That's about it right now. So, yeah. Anyways, new talent, Lucky Entertainment. Basically, they got enough talents right now to make a calendar. So, yay. Rage still bugs me every now and then to join on. I'm like, Rage, no, you don't want me. Just stop. It's like I don't even use my VTuber model that often.
Yeah.
But we are 2 minutes 25 seconds away. Think. Yeah, I think this is gonna be it. I'll drop this in the back office on my end to let some of the members of GNF come on if they want to come on. Like I said, I know Rogue's probably not got to come on. If he does, it's probably gonna be grumbling at Jim.
Ooh, excuse me.
Apparently, there's a lot of people not really happy with Jim right now with a lot of his takes.
Why?
It's not really reminiscent of what old Jim was. It's a little bit more out there. Rogue put this quite well last night when he was talking about it. Whenever the pandemic hit, the Jim that used to stream and his ideals and stuff like that slowly kind of faded away to the Jim now, because a lot of his stances and a lot of his off the wall stuff wasn't that off the wall. There was a purpose and there was a stance to it, but since then it's gotten a little bit more extreme and a little bit more political.
I think that typically happens to people that feel pushed, I guess.
Yeah, and that's why I said, you gotta look, the pandemic, his sickness, God knows what kind of medicines he's on is fucking with him right now. It's like right now I'm on 2 different medicines that's last.
Hey there, sweetie squad.
I know people like to listen to music, but I'm tired of hitting the fucking copyright strikes on it, because these songs do hit copyright strikes.
They do indeed.
So it's gonna be muted until it gets into the final ensemble. But I do know some of the medicines that he's on is probably fucking with his head a little bit.
I don't think it's the medicine. I just think that, like, when you get more nihilistic of the world, you typically tend to, like, have more... if you think you have a platform, I think some people feel like they are required to just say, hey, I think this is bullshit.
Well, there's that too. I'm just throwing out there, stuff I would think, because, like I said, he's got a lot of shit wrong, and he is on a lot of medicines. We don't know exactly what they are, but we know a good majority of some of them.
What has he gotten wrong that people are upset with?
Yeah, well, I get that. But yeah, no, I got put on 2 different types of medications within the last week, and it's kind of been fucking with me a lot. So
right, but like, what are his takes that people are upset with right now that they think are wrong?
Like the freedom of speech stuff.
What do you mean?
I can see where some people are coming from, but I don't really follow it myself. Like, you know, he's chewing the fact that a lot of these people are getting thrown off platforms and stuff. And it's like, I really don't see that as him changing any of his stances, because he's pretty much said from the get-go a long time ago. And it's like, just wait until the pendulum comes back the other way and these people start getting hit with their own treatment, which is what's happening right now.
Well, I still think that it's fair to say, oh, these people are getting fired. Oh, no, I don't care. Because there's a difference between being conservative and having conservative values and then cheering somebody's death.
And I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. And that's why I've been kind of going to people with a little bit. And it's like his views haven't changed, because he still advocates for people having the right to say what they want, but he's also not a free speech absolutist too. He knows that there's some things you just can't do or say.
Well, I don't think that free speech absolutism is a real thing. I think that there is
one of them.
Well, there's free speech, and then there is speech that everybody agrees that like can be actually dangerous. Like you can't. Like a fire in the burning building is, or in a movie theater is probably the most gay example, probably. But like that's the example that I always think of. It's just like there is certain speech that if you are reckless with, you're gonna hurt people, and it's just like I don't think people tend to care if you get in trouble for that kind of shit.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that one. For me, and we could turn this up.
I might say it's because you're a loser who's playing to an audience of
We
children.
can turn that up just a little bit. But it's like, there is no freedom of speech without consequences. You can't just say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And it's always been like that. Yeah, you can say some off-the-wall shit, but there's some things you just can't say or do. And it comes down to it. The people that go, I don't care about Charlie Kirk, or is like, oh, he's dead, why should I care?
You have a bully
it's whatever.
you have created to attack people.
That's their opinion. I don't care. They can do that. For the ones that's saying that just laughing and cackling about it, that's a different extreme. And
Yeah.
They're a shit
You know
person.
that's not true.
And it comes down to if the job place doesn't like that kind of attitude or likes that kind of behavior coming from their employees, it's up to them. They want to get rid of them. I'm not going to point it out. I'm not going to direct people to it, because to me that is petty. That's me and myself.
It could be, yeah.
I look at that as like that's doing the exact same thing the left's done. So that's kind of where my line draws on that one. It happens, it happens. I don't care. Now, whenever you have people like Destiny or Son or some other ones, like, well, you guys are next, or this needs to happen more often, or, you know, along those lines, yes, 100% we'll put that shit.
Wreaking havoc on web,
because that is a form of incitement.
It is. I agree. We should not do that to those people. Those people should be just laughed at and poked at, but not said, "Oh, you're the next one to get hit." That's wrong.
Yeah. So, and it happens on both sides. And I don't want to hear the, oh, well, one side does it more than the other side, or the other side's better than the other side. I don't care. I kind of came down to the fact of I'm tired of the left and right dynamic. There's only psychotic fucking people out there using a side as a fucking shit.
It's what you and your fans are.
But as a white person who is male, you're never told that there's anything you can do. You have no idea what it's like to be told.
Well, this
you're
is
not
when
supposed to do
I'll
that.
be right
That's
back.
not the kind of job for you, because the sky is the fucking limit.
Oh, crank this up just a little bit.
What I was saying was that there's this YouTuber that I admire very much, that I used to admire, but I realized that his game is to punch down. But he always mocks people who are weak or small. I can't stand the big guy who bullies me or tries to bully me.
There is a toxicity that has developed among gamers.
Okay.
All right. It is actually, it feels somewhat fascist in the way. It's working.
That's amazing. Okay, hold on. There we go.
Hey kids! It's time to have fun! Ready, set, go!
Oh, great. I didn't get back fast enough to mute this. Damn it.
Yeah, you didn't. I was gonna be like, oh, he should have muted this.
I was on the other end of the house. I forgot how long that song ran for, and whenever I heard Kraut started speaking, I'm like, oh shit. Started running. Oh, long time no see. We got a director Arcader in the house. What is up, Arc? Actually, let me go ahead and shoot you a link since you're in chat. You probably got nothing you're doing right this moment, so if you want to come on, you can go ahead and come on if you want. I haven't talked to you since what's it been? 2 or 3 months? Yeah, I think it's been about 2 or 3 months. But you know who Director Arcader is?
I know that his stuff shows up in my mentions occasionally because you're in his server or something. I don't really know who he is.
So Arcader does a show with Magog. Oh shit, there's 2 other people. I can't remember the names right now. But he does it's a show called SideQuest.
Okay.
And he does it with them. He's also acquaintances with Omegon.
Ah, okay.
2 to 3 shows, in fact. Pretty much. But now, Arcader's a pretty cool guy. I like a lot of stuff he does, even though I don't get to sit down and watch it all the time. SideQuest is truly Magog. I just help. Well, you're part of the show, so you're there helping. You're still a part of it. I'm pretty sure SideQuest wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for the different people that come on to do it with Magog.
That was the perfect ending to it, I'll be honest with you.
Huh, I did that just at the time. There we go. And that song's okay.
Yes, this version of that song is okay.
Of course.
I loved it when all the people melted down when Vikash made her version of it.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I sit here
Look.
writing to you now with my exceptionally long penis buried deeply in warm.
I think that people are upset because they feel like she's trying to become the next Metokur or some shit.
Has joined the game. Call 911.
There's a lot of people out there trying to become the next Metokur. Hell, I've been accused of it, and it's like, no. If I want to become the next Metokur, I put more effort into it. I just made an AI that acts like them. That's about all I've done.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is the stream dying? Or are you dying?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Then it's not me. It's over. Oh, no, F's in chat. It's on Jim's in. It's on Jim's in.
Refresh the page.
There we go.
You have a bully cabal.
You don't find people being bullied into suicide on.
All right, there we go. I'll send. I did it again. Really?
That's 3
1,000 rejections total. I aim as low as possible. I aim for obese women, ugly women, ideally ugly and obese. I would do anything.
And we got $11 from Devastor.
I said it's not even.
Thank you very much.
You are not allowed to bring him to the hospital. No, you get no permission to fucking do it.
You gotta be kidding. It's just like this declaration, right, of male dominance.
Put that in your pipe. I definitely cheated on Super Mario with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Stop doing this stuff.
He's like the blue seductress who takes me out into the night and does wonderful things to me.
Enough! Stop!
But anyways, Alcador, I did send you the link if you want to come on.
How can a Yorkshire Terrier live in the wild?
Ah, the Baptiste Ross scream.
You know what I mean?
Well, welcome to the stream, chat. You know, it's a bit of a somber mood with this one. So, let's start it off right. Charlie Kirk was a good man. I am not. I don't think many of us are, to be honest with you. Personal, private, professional.
Okay,
finding
then.
a good balance between all of them, giving it an honest effort in what you're doing, who you are, and how you present yourself. Makes for a great slogan on a t-shirt, but it's very difficult to actually walk the walk. In life, we come across tragedy and misery quite often. And because we're decent, because we're human, we express ourselves empathetically to others that are undergoing a hardship. We give them a cordial greeting, we say we're sorry, we shed a tear, even if it's somebody that we don't personally know, somebody that we've worked with or associated with, somebody that was a neighbor.
Why is people putting AI Jim in chat?
Distant cousin, but a complete and utter stranger, which Charlie Kirk is to me. I don't know Charlie Kirk. I've never associated with Charlie Kirk. Hell, years ago, I made fun of Charlie Kirk. But
I remember when he made fun of Charlie Kirk.
Has had an impact. You know, I didn't even get emotional when I talked about dying. I'm going to be fucked up on this stream. I'll tell you that already.
Oh, boy.
There's something about what happened to him that's unnatural. It feels surreal. It's just a man who went to a college campus because he's enthusiastic about getting people involved with politics, about getting people interested in voting and taking back their destiny, about seeing his country as fallen off the path that it should be progressing upon, and trying his best to right that. He went to college campuses to engage students of all different political affiliations, whether they were right-wing or left-wing or independent, with the hopes of sparking conversation, of breaking them out of the propaganda-derived narrative that they've been living under, that this country's been a victim of for nearly a half century now. He sought to engage with these students to try to liberate them, not just their mind, but their souls as well. And he was shot for that. He was killed in front of his family, in front of his wife, and in front of his children by a man who did so because he was a sexual degenerate, because he liked to fuck other men in their ass when they were dressed as a husky, because he was so polluted and perverted and violent.
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
Tainted by a corrupt ideology.
Well, we get to put $1 in Jim and Rogue's he was right, Jar.
That preach anti-capitalism, that are anti-freedom, that are anti-association, that seek to weaponize shame and use it to justify their lifestyles while trying to destroy yours. That man was the antithesis of what Charlie Kirk was. He was anathema to what he stood for. The man that took his life is a worthless human being who deserves no mercy or sympathy. And yet his
People
actions have
calling him
robbed
AI
the world
Jim
of a man
because
who would
it
have
doesn't
had
sound
a
like Jim. It
impact that
sounds
would have been felt for
better
generations.
than
And you
Jim.
think that might be hyperbole? It is not.
Wow.
This last election to get Donald Trump into the office, after Biden had put himself into the office, took a great effort of many people. People like Prescott in Pennsylvania who got the Amish vote, and people like Kirk who went to college campuses to engage people who are disenfranchised or disinterested or apathetic. Because it's so easy to be apathetic these days. It's so easy to tune it out, to let it go. Because when you admit how bad things are, when you admit how rotten and corrupt and disgusting, and how you have acquiesced and you have compromised, it kills you. It wounds you to admit how bad the world and our nation is, that we've allowed it to become that way. And so people went out and they tried to engage people like me, people like you, to get them interested again. Hell, maybe many of the people that Charlie Kirk engaged with wouldn't even vote for Republican after talking to him and agreeing with him, but they would have been more politically engaged. They would have understood what was happening in our country, and they wouldn't have just sat passively by like most of us do because it's comfortable and it's convenient. His impact helped to win Donald Trump the office. And I can tell you this now, there are a lot of people who have grievances against Trump and the administration who don't think they've done enough. They think they're just another administration like any other administration. My counter to you would be this. Can you name any time in the last 10 to 15 years where people could have spoken their disagreement with what is currently going on, with what happened to Charlie Kirk and the people, the vile, vicious little creatures that celebrate his death, without being banned and demonetized and thrown off every platform which exists? The very fact we are here talking about it shows that the shackles which have chained us for nearly 2 decades on the internet have been broken by hunting down corruption, by taking away USAID money, which was shuffled about by donors with their own interests that are against the United States, swapped through NGOs which are fictitious, paying Nepo babies and their cousin's brother's sister, all to help trickle it down to the street level where thugs make our cities living hells, where we allow those who call themselves Antifa and others to burn our cities to the ground, to harass our citizens, to help criminals run free and illegals take benefits. That's been completely cut off at the tap. RFK is currently working
I wouldn't
and
say
passing,
that.
might
Still
I add,
there. Just not
a
as
change in
prevalent.
vaccine schedule protocol. Right now is the MMRC, that's mumps, measles, rubella, and chickenpox vaccine. He's expanded it and pushed it down the road. Why? Because they've found statistically that if you delay giving that vaccine to children, that you cut in half the mortality rate, the risk of them getting injured. He's also taken dyes and chemicals out of our food supply and engaged different producers to help America get healthy again. People like Kash Patel, for all the jokes we like to make about him, have already caught 4 of the FBI's top most wanted, which, might I add, is equal to what the FBI during the last administration got during the entirety of their term. Musk, as well as those in DOJ, have cut so much money and given so much back. You know, I think when we used to have conversations about what this country can and cannot do for our citizens, when we used to talk about having to make sacrifices, allowing people to be sick and homeless and destitute and suffer, that was a false argument by twisted, greedy, corrupt people who stole our money and misused it for their own nefarious purposes. And once they're cut out like the parasitic leeches which they are, we'll be able to afford things. Social Security won't be at risk. Medicare won't be an issue. Welfare will actually work for the people that need welfare. A lot has happened in 6 months. And a man like Charlie Kirk was at the forefront, known by a majority of these people who have done all of these things. And every goddamn one of them liked him. Nobody's run out with a tell-all book talking about Charlie Kirk being a greedy bastard who stole money. Nobody's talked about him being a sexual degenerate. Everybody said he was a man who lived the life that he presented to the public. And that is a rare fucking thing. It's a diamond in the rough. You don't see that on the internet, in our culture, in our age, in our generation. It does not fucking exist. And so we got a man like that.
Pissed.
Oh, he's mad for sure.
He is
Religion,
pissed.
see the goodness of his fellow countrymen, desperately wanted to see his country rise above
Like I said,
the
a
stagnant
kind stranger will piss in your ass today.
I was gonna say, Angie gonna make me a little bit hard.
Indeed.
Furry shot him in the fucking neck. His children and his wife had to watch him bleed to death. The pain and confusion he would have felt just at the moment of death would have been atrocious, because he would have known, my God, my fucking family is watching this. The shooter, a leftist, had planned this out with the help of, and I will make this declaration now because I know I am 100% correct, the support of others, material and financially. Those that I guarantee you will find connections to political groups, to the very organizations that you said money cut from. He killed him after asking a question about transsexual violence. People like to make little quips about how ironic it is. Charlie Kirk was shot when he believed in the Second Amendment. Well, how ironic is it that the question about transsexual violence was the one preceding him being shot in the neck by a man that has sex with transsexuals? I've watched for the last week as people on the left, those in Antifa, those within the Democratic Party, those in the mainstream media, and those in entertainment have gleefully delighted in his demise, that have found satisfaction in the notion that a family man who is trying his best to make the country better by the metrics he believed in should just be killed. And that's funny, and that's great, and that's acceptable. And it is such a sterling example of what we have dealt with for years in this country. And enough is enough. I am angry because Charlie Kirk is dead, but I am hopeful because this decayed, wicked thing is going to die with him.
We can hope so.
We have accepted too much.
Well,
We have
that's a good
allowed
possibility.
empathy to be weaponized. We've allowed the lowest common denominator to ruin high trust society by taking the rights and the liberties of our citizens and using them to harm our citizens. This is not the act of counterculture. These are not protesters. These are not people voicing their disagreement. These are people who are at war with the concept of what the United States of America is. They are at war with what Charlie Kirk represented, which was a young, responsible father who had a job, paid his taxes, and loved his children. They are at war with people who believe in a Christian God. They are at war with people who are Caucasian. They are at war with men. They are at war with heteronormativity. They are at war with normalcy itself.
We talked about
They
that.
seek
It
to
depends
topple
which way it
over
goes.
our capitalist society.
Oh, no, for sure.
Take away our rights and liberties, to make us live in fear and terror of their tyranny, because they derive pleasure from it, because they want to see us suffer as they suffer, as degenerate fuck-ups and failures, whose lives are marked by folly and foibles, who have accomplished nothing, who need the money of men like Soros to be able to feed themselves because they can't work a job, who live with their parents because they can't get out of the nest and fly on their own, who seek to use the government as a supplemental new parental figure who will take care of them throughout their entire life and who will fund their endeavors to make our lives a living
I almost
hell.
feel like he's reading
These
from a fucking
filthy,
script.
fucking communists, these
He probably
left-wing
is.
agitators, these liberals do not deserve mercy, do not deserve rights, do not deserve liberties. They should be cut out, excised as a cancer and removed from society. That does not have to be violence. We are We are not the left wing. We do not need to enact violence to start a revolution. We need to put our foot down and say, no more. We are not going to risk the rare commodity that a Charlie Kirk is on another sexually degenerate man who is confused in life, taken advantage of by an educational system which has been infiltrated starting all the way back in the 1990s. Starting with political correctness, moving its way into Common Core, which was created by a man who has given speeches and given interviews where he explicitly stated he does not like white people and he hates seeing white kids do well in school. These dumbed down, stupid, uneducated children we have allowed to be held hostage by an academia that is perverted and perverse are funneled up into the colleges and the universities where communist agitators in the guise of professors funded by NGOs, by people like George Soros, fill their heads with enough shit to make them walk out with a fucking 36 and shoot a man in his goddamn neck in front of his fucking kids.
Damn!
I don't know why. It's just kind of funny listening to him get angry.
Enough. 20 years. The internet has been turned to shit. 30 before it, a government and society. Everything that made this country good has been ripped and stripped and torn away from us. I ask you, why can you not leave your house with your door unlocked? Why do you accept the notion that you are going to be the victim of a violent crime? Who said you should be? That isn't city life. That's degeneracy. Why should you have to suffer in poverty? Why should you have your speech restricted? Fuck the left. Your speech is more important. Why should you cow down to tyrants who steal your money, take your rights, and make you a slave to their disgusting, perverted worldview and ideology? Enough. These people are barely human. All we share in common with them is biology and nothing else. And I'll say this to you now. As somebody who's worked up over the events, this did affect me quite a bit. You know, when I got sick 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer and autoimmune diseases. As time progressed, it got worse. I've had multiple heart attacks, multiple strokes, rib fractures, back fractures, burst fractures in my spine. Something that had crippled me to the point where it took 13 months to be able to walk again. I'm in palliative care through my network of health providers, which is difficult to get in. You have to get in by committee. They have to review your medical forms and see if you fit because there are a limited amount of slots. But even looking at mine, they said that hospice was on its way and death was around the corner. I am sick. I am horribly sick and in agony every day of my life. But even facing that, as somebody who grew up in a Lutheran household whose grandfather was a Lutheran minister, I still didn't turn to God. It wasn't something, even death didn't make me turn to God. I was apatheistic, somebody who was disinterested, who felt that it didn't apply to me, that whatever my fate was going to be, it was going to be. But Charlie Kirk's death has had more of an effect on me than I can reckon with. Not just me, but my wife. They talk about the concept of martyrdom, about the blood of martyrs and what that inspires in people.
I was gonna say,
Charlie Kirk.
Is he crying?
Help me find God.
Hero, yeah, I think you just answered that question.
I want to be a man like him. I want to aspire to that.
Jim is running for president.
What's happened in this past week is bigger than I think most people can conceptualize. I think we look at it as another misery and another tragedy, even though we see the reverberations of it around us. But I can tell you, from what I have observed, and I am fairly decent at observing things, not infallible, no one is. But from what I have observed.
What's up, Rogue?
There it is, the rub. He's found God! Ergo.
And that this will have
Called that a while back, didn't I?
TPUSA, which was the organization that Kirk,
like I said, put a draw in the.
had, I believe, around 900 chapters, colleges, and 1,200 or so in high schools.
So he's
roughly 21.
been injured all this fucking time. He's kind of relived his fucking script, and it took Charlie Kirk for him to find God, even though it was already at his fingertips.
36,000.
Brilliant. Anywho,
18 times growth in 5 to 6 days.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Sen's having a field day with this.
Not tolerating.
I know he is.
They're not putting up with people grave dancing upon this man's corpse, of mocking his wife and his
Mr.
children.
Sen is also a retard, doesn't understand.
Government is not going to sit by.
So.
Stephen Miller and Kash Patel, RFK, and Trump knew Kirk. Trump talked about how Barron met him and liked him. People in power right now are actually quite personally affected by his assassination.
Some people
around this
are
country
quite affected.
by his assassination. Because it's easy to picture yourself as him. Who was Charlie Kirk? He was a family man. He was somebody that loved his children. He was somebody that wanted his country to do well.
Which is something that Jim wants.
His job and supported his family and loved his wife. How is that something that needs to be killed? Why would that be a man that needs to be murdered? And who in their right mind would celebrate that? Too many people have looked at this and said, Jesus Christ, that's me. I am that man.
Not necessarily true.
And they want me dead. So for this stream today, we're going to talk about what happened and the people involved in it. And while as bad of a tragedy as this is, and as heartbreaking as it may be, at least to me personally it is, that this is a historically hopeful and important moment in America and in American society. You are standing at the threshold of a second renaissance. And it is a fucking bittersweet tragedy that it took the blood of a man like Charlie Kirk to help play a part in that. Take a small break and be right back.
The best part of this whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyred.
They're just going over the.
No. I understand.
Yeah, we don't need to be watching this. We've always seen a lot of this stuff.
Oh God, have we seen a lot of this fucking shit? And it kind of ends up with up in the air kind of, data at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that's something we've talked about too. I think the last 2 weeks is like there's a lot of hubbub going on. There's a lot of stuff that's out there, and there's a lot of things that we just don't know. There's certain things that we know for sure. There are certain things that we have good, accurate data on, but the majority of it is like we don't know because there's a lot of twists and turns. Like I said, I still kind of don't buy the they were quote unquote lovers because they interchange the words roommate and lover too many fucking times.
Yeah, I mean, best friend, roommate, lovers, they kind of throw it all together into one blender and hope like everybody can actually, digest it. Unfortunately, if you're within the MAGA group, that's easy to digest because, you're against the furries, the trans, and everybody else. You're pretty much the staunch in some cases, very staunch, because right wing level. So you're really a neo-Nazi in all kind of respect. I'm just calling it as it is. The extreme right is crazy just as much as the extreme left. Fortunately, as I stated before, both sides need to be removed out of the equation. If you go with the data at hand, just as is, without any, add-ins from the FBI, it's got a lot of questions on how this kid was able to, go from one point of town 3 hours away, go to another point of town, to a school that he barely spent quality time in, to not only be able to get up to the fucking roof, unknown where exactly wherever he's going to be sitting at the time frame. So there's a lot of data. Plus, he was able to sniper kill Charlie from wherever it was that he was, 200 yards away, give or take. Then disassemble his fucking rifle. In some cases, that is some reports from the FBI, in under 6 seconds, or he took it with him.
I get the hauling it there. We've seen the stuff with him hauling it there. I can believe that. It's the leaving that's it's the leaving that's kind of like up in the air for me.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, getting him there is I'll grant them some leeway, but having him leave, it's questionable.
Before we get to
here we go.
The responsible individual, the one that pulled the trigger, and those associated with him, I wanted to talk first about the reactions most people saw taking place online repeatedly. Put together a little compilation clip.
Oh, God.
More?
Yeah, more.
He's dead, y'all. Thank God. One down, couple more to go.
Couple more to go. Jesus Christ, lady, you're expecting
Bye, Charlie Kirk.
end.
Bye. Piss me the fuck off. Bye. He's dead. He's dead.
Now, what do you think he pissed her off about? Did he steal her Twinkies? Take the bag of Oreos she has laying on the floor where she eats them like a pig down her fat fucking gullet?
Possibly.
What Kirk did to you? Did he steal your Oreos, fatty? You'll see how vile and disgusting they are. They take actual, genuine, legitimate joy, not trolling, not trying to own the conservatives, not trying to bait them and piss them off, but actual, factual glee and joy from the misery and suffering of his family.
He's dead. Bye. Got shot. Not my problem. Bye, bye, bye.
How do you look at the death of Charlie Kirk?
I think he deserved it. I really believe he deserved it.
I don't know about his positions. I feel like he was so controversial and he probably shouldn't have a platform in the first place. So, yeah, probably a little deserved.
I don't know what he did or what he said, but he was controversial, so he shouldn't have had a platform.
Yeah, I know, right?
Possess anymore?
Fucking retards.
Glad Charlie.
Yeah, well, they come from all sides.
Because he's right. Empathy is dangerous to society. So no one should give a fuck that he's dead.
Empathy is dangerous. Wow.
You say you a killer? No, you not. Fuck you not. I use fighting words, but I do not box.
Gotta have the fat black chick dancing. And need the problem glasses white liberal in her 30s and 40s, angry because only progeny she'll ever have are cats that'll probably get run over by cars once they finish consuming her corpse after her untimely passing from wine-induced seizures. I don't know. Charming group of individuals.
I feel
It
like
gets better.
that was a
They're all
much
such a
dig.
diverse cast of characters.
It was.
Was it really? Oh my gosh.
Every one of them is going to look like. You can picture in your mind and hear in your mind's eye exactly what they're going to say because we've become used to it. It has become the de facto default in how we interact with the left in America. They are the angry, snarky, rude, and cruel, seeking to diminish you and your accomplishment and the accomplishment of anybody throughout history for not meeting up to their self-made and self-imposed and imposed on you as well rules and ideology. They're just shitty fucking people.
I saw the video of it.
Did you hear the news? Did you hear it? Mr. Potato Head himself got and you.
Was the news that you got hit with a frying pan and that's why your eyes are different angles? Is the news that you looked into the sun a little too brightly during an eclipse and now you can only see out of one side of your head? Is that the news?
Oh,
God,
I think he's still alive.
Cracking up.
What was he wearing?
To be honest, the
What was
eyes,
his name
yeah.
To produce such animosity in people. Thoughts and prayers.
Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. He got what he got. He deserved what he got. Fuck him. Fuck him. And if you have a fucking problem with what I'm saying, fuck you too.
Have you spoken to anybody about the great Charlie Kirk assassination? It's also like, it's tough not to laugh at this stuff. You know,
I mean, don't we all love knowing that there are still vestiges of the last administration and vestiges of these NGOs and vestiges of Soros-implanted people in positions of power, like this man who thinks it's awesome that he was killed and
yeah, but Soros also, if you want to go down that road, also it planted Republicans in place just in case.
Flood victims just sit in the woods and die because they didn't give a shit because they voted red. You remember that, FEMA? Do you remember the FEMA who had an executive who told people that they were going to outright avoid anybody with a Trump sign in the yard who wore a red MAGA hat? They need to be purged from the government ranks. They need to be removed as the communist sympathizers that they are.
what I mean? Like, he's a lunatic and like awful and kind of deserves it in his own way.
So how does FEMA feel about Charlie Kirk getting shot?
Everybody's kind of laugh. I don't know. I mean, the people that are in charge of this place are like dipshits. Now,
if you're celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, you're a bad person. You're going to hell. Man. Fuck Charlie Kirk. The off-ramp to the high road is closed. We are not going to be made to feel bad about y'all bullshit hero that consistently spewed harmful rhetoric, that consistently put people's lives in danger with the bullshit platform that he was given.
Yeah, let's talk about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, he's been removed from the service, by the way.
And aimed at making people suffer. He believed that men were men and women were women and there were biological differences. Now, you can argue that point, but I'd ask you to watch any fight that's ever existed throughout human history, whether amateur or professional, that was between a man and a woman. Who do you think is going to win out based on the hormones going through their body, the muscular...
If a woman has a gun, the woman.
Different bone densities. Who do you think is going to have the upper hand in that fight?
You're not wrong.
Is it going to be men or women or equally the same? But that was one of the horrific things that Charlie Kirk said. Charlie Kirk also believed in God, a terrible thing. It's not like there are billions of people.
Yeah, but also Charlie Kirk believed that black women were not intelligent.
A variety of gods, different pantheon of gods, but have a religious faith
That
guiding
one's
them, giving them an
No, that actually is true.
morality to interact with the
No,
world,
because that was a quote
which
that
is
he said.
decayed so
No,
bad.
he's actually believed it. It's true. He's said it multiple different times on his show.
Shit house.
I've seen what they're trying to class as the. No, it's not.
All of you racist goofies.
Christian minister here. Charlie Kirk is not a martyr for Christ, despite the claims on social media this week from the right.
Yeah, not a martyr for Christ. Let's see. A man was quite literally killed for his beliefs, which were informed by his religion. He's literally the definition of a martyr. Now, I know that along with academia, that there have been quite a few religious institutions that have been infiltrated. Some sex more than others. Looking at you, Episcopalians, where they'll have somebody that's wearing a rainbow flag talking about fucking puppies and how that's God's will. But I'm going to disagree with the social media minister on Charlie Kirk being a martyr.
The best part of this whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one. It will impact few.
I have breaking news. We think that Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Hey, ooh, ah, ooh.
These are the people that work in HR departments. These are the people that have middle management, administrative jobs. These are the people that decide where you work and when you work, what you say and what you don't.
Yeah, but Jim, you're
has
supposed to actually look at the color and what gender that they have.
rights and liberties
Seems like
we
they're mostly
have
white old women.
because they seek to
Kind of
completely
weird.
destroy
if
the
you ask
country
me.
that gives them those rights and liberties. They seek to give those rights and
Yeah, they're
liberties
the
to
ones
people
that
that aren't
usually
even
spot
from
this
this
chat.
country, and then
Yeah,
ask this
yeah.
that are from here to
This is
pay.
why we need to remove the rights of women.
They don't have to work or struggle.
Apparently so, yeah. Right?
It is a
Women can't vote and they wish the death upon multiple
Antifa
people.
communist ideology.
Kind of
Seek
weird.
to Destroy
Kinda weird.
the United States of America through any means necessary, by wasting its money, by disenfranchising its people. You want to talk about blackpilling?
Oh no,
That's
that right
blackpilling.
there is a guy.
Not as in the knowledge of it is
Oh
something
yeah,
that
but the majority of them that are in
Because they
HR are
recognize the concept
white
of
women.
White women.
battlefield.
White women, yeah, the white ones.
These people do not seek the betterment of their neighbors or their fellow citizens. They do not seek to enshrine our country and its rights and liberties. They seek to see its utter destruction. Why do you think they have pushed so hard for a narco tyranny, where a criminal is coddled and a citizen chastised? Why do you think they want illegal immigrants to have more rights than citizens? Why do you think that they want their speech rather than free speech? Because they hate you.
Oh my god, guys, did you hear? The world's finally started to heal. Charlie Kirk was shot. Ooh.
Charlie's dead. How nice.
I don't think that's
He
a woman
said
either.
That gun deaths are worth
Neither
it
is that.
to keep the Second Amendment.
I guarantee you that man has licked a cat's vagina. And gone to town on it.
For
Probably.
fuck's sake, I didn't need to hear that.
What now you envisioning
wake
it?
up from a nap and a cis white man shot and killed? Oh my god.
Charlie Kirk got shot and he's dead.
I bet if you ask Charlie now,
That's a kid.
if he thought a few deaths so that everybody got to keep their Second Amendment rights was okay by him, I think he'd probably say, as long as it wasn't me.
Now, this person strikes me as the type that would be sitting around enjoying patchouli in her house as she tries to cast
Patchouli's good though.
Patchouli?
vibe I'm getting.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It does speak with those senpaku eyes to the mental instability of those that seem to be drawn to this communist ideology, to Antifa, and to this left-wing politics, that they see normalcy as their enemy. Because if
People
they
should stay away from meth. Questionable. They probably are already on meth in some degree.
the happiness of
Yeah,
bringing women together
good
wrong,
example,
if they can
Destiny.
make
Yeah, pretty much.
human beings
But no, looking
wrong,
at your stats
that
for your
it's
HR, 74% are women.
themselves.
White
Yep.
women. It's weird.
Dysfunction,
You're saying. It's weird.
their degeneracy will now be upheld as the right thing. And we've seen this happen. It's taught to your children in school now. It went awfully quick from bake the cake to put the dress on, Timmy, because the map, we need to be politically correct. The map is coming by. And during drag show story time in the library, you're going to be getting raped. Or as we like to call it, politically correct, surprise sexed. And that's a good thing in their mind.
Guess you shouldn't have manifested that shit.
Bye, Charlie Kirk. Like you said, people getting shot and killed for the Second Amendment is so worth it. I never thought we'd agree on anything.
Oh no, someone shot Charlie Kirk. Look, I don't know who needs to hear this today, but that's how you pick up a woman.
Why is it that every single woman,
Not surprised the
this entire
guy's lying to
montage,
women.
and this was not intentional on my part, I promise you, there were hundreds of these clips, and every woman fit an archetype that reminds me of the cousin nobody wants to talk to at Thanksgiving. The bitchy one that gets a little drunk a little too early, overshares their opinion on everybody in the family and their relationships, makes everybody severely uncomfortable, and makes them really reconsider showing up for New Year's or Christmas.
Already seeing some of y'all do it. That moral standpoint of, oh, I don't care how you feel politically. Nobody deserves to. Wrong. Some people do deserve to. He was a demon.
I swear I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, you put any one of these people in the same category as Charlie Kirk, it's like, should this happen to you?
So
They go, oh no, not us, not us.
Now, you do know that this kind of guy right here, this dude right here that has contributed to fatigue levels across the country, is the sort that would cry if you told him Cleopatra on Netflix was a shitty movie because of the black girl boss you put in it. But here he is, gleefully extolling how great it is Charlie Kirk was killed in front of his children. These overly fragile people who completely shatter upon hearing words and thoughts they don't like still seem to think that, action, murder, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Don't say something offensive, but feel free to go out and slit the throat of anybody that upsets you. That's okay.
That's a military undershirt.
Twisted and turned everything
There have
on.
been so many people kicked out of the military this week alone. It's just immediately.
You'd hope.
They took our.
Oh no, it's been happening left and right. I've been hearing stories about left and right.
No, I know, but I said
turned
you
it
would
into
hope
a stagnating
because-
pit of
Yeah.
shit. But this event that has happened, this assassination,
But again, keep in mind that most of these people who are talking are no longer in the active military.
and I promise you, behind the gleeful little smiles and the little TikTok dances,
they're not
fucking scared. And they're not scared because we're violent like they are. They're scared because they know when people finally have enough, shit is going to actually change. They understand that change is already on the way, and now it has been accelerated to a phenomenal rate. And that scares the shit out of them.
Let this be a lesson to all those other conservative freaks, those little weirdos with podcasts. Just know your necks are on the line. Your necks. No. Your necks.
The red-colored people are like, he was such a good person. Why did he get shot? If you've seen the video on Twitter, please.
I just
Red
like
color
you all to
people.
know,
You
by
talking
the
about
way,
Indians, you
for the
fucking
sake of
racist
sanity of
bitch?
the audience, I have edited out all the chirps. There were numerous chirps in some videos. I have edited them all out. You're welcome, audience.
Listen to the last 10
I don't believe it.
of what he said.
I just heard a chirp.
And if you honestly, y'all, he had it coming. I'm so sorry.
That's why he shot Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk is dead.
Oh, well, I guess Rocco will never be able to float. Oh, well, too bad. Bye, Rocco.
This is sort of chick that can't figure out why none of the guys on Hinge. Is that what the kids use nowadays? Why none of the guys on Hinge will date her? Here's a guess. Maybe those chicken wings you call arms. Maybe younger men aren't interested in chicken skin. They don't want to be encased in a fucking cocoon in a sleeping bag's worth of skin, Karen. Maybe they're not interested in that. I don't know. Maybe find another app. I don't know. All you kids and your high technology on mobile phones. I don't
Insert
get
Al
it.
Bundy
I'm an
joke here.
old-fashioned sort of individual. If I were to look for a date, which I don't because I have a wife, but if I were to look for one, I'd be trying to look up bulletin boards and news groups. Do those even exist anymore? Highly doubtful.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. He did say that gun deaths were an acceptable side effect of gun rights.
and your ex-husband said your pussy smelled like tuna. So I guess we're even. I guess we're even. Have we seen the TikTok of your ex-husband, the one where he talks about how horrible your vagina smells? How the putrid odor would peel paint? How people kept coming up to him and asking him, why are you throwing out rotten eggs every fucking week? Why is it pointed? Why is that smell weaponized and pointed at my house? I'll never be able to drink eggnog again. Make your ex-wife shut her fucking legs.
They clapped him. No, they clapped his ass. Hey, bro. And the cherry on top, the icing on the cake was the shooter was not black. They clapped him. Get him out of here, coach. Get that nigga out of here. No,
I'm just gonna say it because all of you are thinking it.
I can't keep my mouth shut. Why Charlie Kirk? Yeah, he's annoying. But there were two better candidates if you were going to get the job done.
No, I bet anything these
This
people
bitch had she better never walk on the set of a Wizard of Oz remake, or a fucking house is going to fall on her.
I was gonna say, these people wouldn't know what happened if they actually got conflicted on the street. That's the thing.
I'm sure it's the
We need to locate Charlie Kirk's killer because I want to give him a nice, firm handshake. Thank you.
So this, I think, is the most mind-blowing. And I'd like to say something, too, because I don't know if everybody's familiar with what happened directly after this. Now, it was updated. The store's management fired the employees, but they did it after a couple of days. But immediately after this happened, the person that went in there said that FedEx contacted them and said they would do it for free. They could come by a FedEx location and they'll get that shit done real quick.
We came in for an order earlier to print a poster for a vigil tonight for somebody that passed.
Now, here's the thing. If this was their own business, that's one thing. I've seen a lot of people go, oh, well, it's the cake factory thing. This is it's the cake baker thing again. They're trying to force people to do it. It's like, if this was their own business, you can say that. This is not their own business. The owner did not like what happened and fired them.
Mm-hmm.
Propaganda, unfortunately.
What makes it propaganda?
Because he's a political figure, and I don't have to. Yeah.
So the left is too violent, huh? The left pushes it too far. Why don't you tell that to Donald Trump, who just declared war on the entire left?
He hasn't, but I did. Also, as an aside, people watching may not know this. It's taken me years of working at it, but that might be a trans woman. I know it's very hard to figure out. They are so incredible.
You don't say.
And so incredibly beautiful. This is the sort of individual you've been told over the last 20 years is a woman. This is a person you've been told is indistinguishable from a woman. That this is feminine enough to be exact. You wouldn't even know. You'd go on a date with them. You'd talk about having babies. You would be completely shocked to find out that's not actually a woman. Just wanted to give you a little pro tip, a little GamePro pro tip for you.
War. Declared war. But no, we're the violent ones.
Confused.
Do you hear how stupid you people are? Do you really think you are the problem?
Are we sure that's just not like a hard rocker?
You aren't the issue.
I think that
It's somebody who's lost.
A hot topic, because whatever employee told you it made you look pretty was lying to you, sir.
Asking me to mourn Charlie Kirk's death is like asking someone who's a victim of SA to mourn the person who SA'd them. He's my oppressor.
Okay.
Charlie Kirk, right here. Right here. That motherfucker is not surviving, and inshallah he does not survive. My day just got 100% better. Rest in peace.
I thought I'd do a quick check-in after yesterday. And
Oh my God.
I want to reiterate that it is not wrong or unethical or unkind.
Yeah, the colored hair people exist, unfortunately.
That's terrifying.
It looks like a toucan shit on her head. It looks like an animated GIF, a meme floated by in an ephemeral way and took a rainbow shit right on her bald head. What? See, these people aren't even liked by those directly around them. They are antithetical to the survival of this country. But believe me, as bad as they are for us, her friends and family said, no, that looks good. Go with that. You slay, boss bitch. You fucking slay, girl power.
To laugh at the misfortunes of terrible people. Let's never forget.
Thought it was icing.
To
From a
defend-
far away distance, I can see what you would mean.
So I keep on seeing like posts about this Charlie dude, whatever, Kirk dude, whatever. Regardless, and let me just say this: I'm surprised that y'all didn't get rid of him sooner, and I'm surprised that you guys aren't getting rid of more people. Like, his wife deserves to go too. Y'all keep on talking about his wife and kids. They need to go too because they're carrying on that mentality and that lineage. Like, get rid of the whole family. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Why did you guys stop with him?
Get rid of.
Yeah, well, she's black, so American blacks are very unique individuals.
Let's take a step further. Not just happy with grave dancing.
He's a basketball American.
She wants his wife and children.
No, basketball
and that's
American
not a sentiment that's unique to this one individual. Like there's just one crazy person.
No. You're kind of right, but that's mostly men. Women don't know how to play basketball. If they do,
of course, this sort of
the women's league would be popular, but
tolerated on TikTok.
It's not. No matter how much black money you put into there. Kind of
a literal puppet tool of China.
Kind of true.
Has no problem with the black woman calling for the death of white children in America. They think that's neato. Now, we've already gone for 1 hour. We have a lot more to come. We're going to take a small break, and then we're going to get into the furry aspect of this before getting into the tranny aspect of it. We're going to talk about the assassin, the Troon Goon, and all the shit that he got up to, as well as the reaction to what's been going on to these people. So I'm going to play a 5-minute break. Grab yourself a drink. We'll be coming back and diving right into furries. Because of course we are. Because these people are the living embodiment of a cliche.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're going to go into the... We're
going
to go, I know, but we're going to go into the speculation that this kid played a furry game. I mean, I hate to break it to him, but most of the Zoomers have played a fucking furry game.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've played at least one of them.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, and like I said, is that going to a lot of stereotypes and a lot of aspects when you look at it, anything can be attributed to this. Because, I mean, if... I know where you're going to go with this, Rick. And tell me if I'm correct or not. But you're pretty much going to go, if he's going to go into this aspect, he needs to go into all aspects. Because if he's going to go into this one aspect, well, what about like Helldivers aspect? Are we going to go into that one?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. That's why I figured you're going.
Well, I mean, he's going to go in. I bet you dollars to donuts. He's going to pull out the FBI talking book, and he's going to go, looking at bulges. Ooh, looking at bulges. What's this? Or whatever it is, and kind of go, well, that's an Antifa call sign from the furries. Yes, it's an old furry meme. It pretty much belongs to the Groypers now. Sorry. So are we going to say that Nick Fuentes group is at fault for this? I can't say it. I can't prove it, but it does kind of allude to it. Or how about this? Catch this fascist up, down, down, down. That's a call sign for the extreme left. It's a fucking code in a game called Helldivers 2.
Yeah, it's to summon. Well, it's to call in the 500k bomb and Helldivers.
Or a fucking bomb at the end of the day, and it's a game that's a satirical game that you play as a fucking fascist, trying to pretty much wipe out whoever else is questionable that's fighting you, whether it be the bugs, the robot, whatever else is that.
Yeah, I would say you're probably going too far, but knowing the actual lore of Starship Troopers in the world and what they were trying to go for, that's pretty much 100% right, because it was 100% genocide for the other side.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, what I find hilarious and kind of interesting is that Charlie Kirk got eliminated with one bullet. It happened to be a questionable furry meme that killed him. He was killed by a meme.
I think he was killed by the bullet that said, "Hey, fascist, catch."
No, it was actually the Uwu one that killed him because that was the one that was spent. All
I
the other
thought.
ones. No,
I
that was
thought that. Well, see, and that's another deal too, because if that's
Yes.
what's being said, it's also said that the "Hey, fascist, catch" was the spent one. So again, another example of all the smoke that's out there.
Oh yeah, no. As well as people are still questioning how a 30-06 didn't really do all that much damage to a soft tissue area for a human being with a pencil neck. Hate to break it. I'm just saying. Hate to break it. It's a weird scenario.
It actually depends.
Oh, I
If he was
understand.
using, well, it depends on the ammunition too. If he was using large game rounds,
We
it
don't know.
wouldn't have,
But again,
because
we
they're
don't.
they're meant to be piercing and not soft tipped. The small game rounds are soft tipped, and they would
Correct.
blow his neck off.
Correct. Like I said, we don't know. Unfortunately, the FBI doesn't give us that detail. Hell, we
Here's-
have a camera angle that could solve a lot of this that we're not getting, and it's coming from Turning Point USA.
Here's the thing. He was struck in the neck into the vertebrae, destroying literally his vertebrae.
Oh yeah.
That's why it stopped. It lodged in his vertebrae.
Again, we
why
don't
he
even
died.
we don't even
Alright,
have
here
the
we go.
coroner's report yet.
Now, to add insult to injury, the degenerate, communist, Antifa-loving assassin.
See, I like that. He's making sure that he's
proclivity towards degeneracy.
He's kind of leveled the.
Yeah, he's cooking. He's
So
cooking.
that was a
We
very
know.
large component of it.
No, he's
started
he's
to
already kind of
was in their online
corrupting
trail.
the conversation
Mind you,
by doing this.
that
Yeah,
both the
I know.
assassin and
He's
their
he's
roommate
cooking. That's
slash
what he's
lover
doing.
had over 30
They
hours
spin it
after the
to a narrative
assassination
he wants.
to
Yeah,
delete
I
any
know.
and all of the digital
Narrative
trail.
spinning.
We know this.
No,
Yeah.
that wouldn't work in court. Eventually, government agencies will get records and find out everything that was said.
We
But
hope.
that put a stop to sleuths on the internet looking up information and using it to piece things together.
No, they
On
won't.
top of that, 30 hours post-assassination, neighbors had given interviews where they had said that the people living at that location had a lot of people showing up from out of state, coinciding with the timing of these people arriving 2 to 3 weeks before the assassination was carried out. Numerous trans individuals who are affiliated with radical organizations started making posts with the specific date that Charlie Kirk was going to be murdered.
Is he going to put out the book again?
So what sort of communities was our assassin a part of? Well, let's read one of the headlines that came out recently to try to get a grasp on who they were. Alleged Charlie Kirk assassin.
Hey, look at that.
Robinson played furry porn video games online. Now, what the New York Post fails to, I guess, follow up with, or maybe they should have just rewritten this headline. He didn't just play furry porn video games online. He funded them through Patreon and Venmo and other avenues. He was not just a consumer of furry degeneracy. He was funding its creation. Now, more than likely, this was a fetish that he shared with his roommate slash lover. So imagine in your mind the disparity between these two mornings on the day of the assassination. Charlie Kirk wakes up and he kisses his wife and he hugs his children. There are fucking bluebirds singing outside. They have a breakfast together and he talks about how he's excited to go to another university stop on his tour and inspire a younger generation. Hard cut to that of Tyler Robinson and his trans girlfriend. Probably still trying to get the fursuits off their body, sweaty, covered in shit because I'm sure it's a diaper fur rather than just a simple furry. Screeching at each other about the Communist Manifesto before he trods off to go kill a man that is infinitely more
Is he
valuable.
going to pick up the? Is he going to pull up the transcripts as well?
Now, some of you in the audience might not know
Well, we'll
what a
see.
furry is. I've done videos on it. Many people have done videos on it, but perhaps you don't. So I put together an informational packet, a nice couple of minutes that really just gives you the high points. So we can really align ourselves as we go on this journey to find out who this Troon Goon, Tyler Robinson, really
Did he
is.
cut from his Tumblrisms?
Probably.
Because it's how you identify. What? Some people in my school, you don't have to be able. You can identify as an animal now. And like the teacher calls you, you go, moo. Yeah, you can do that now, and they can't say nothing because it's part of your identity. You're kidding. No, some people do it, and they walk around with tails on. They do that in your school? Mm-hmm. And sometimes, like, I'll be walking down the hallway, and somebody that's a furry will, like...
The look on that grandma's face.
Yeah, but she's 92.
Imagine being a 90-year-old woman, and you're medically worried about things like brain tumors and plaques and memory loss, and you just don't know. Am I having a mild stroke, or is my daughter telling me people bark at her in school with tails up their asses?
And animal ears.
What are you going to school for?
I guess education.
Them. Mercy.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Please don't be like that.
Oh, I'm not, Granny.
I don't think I want to be that kind. Who gets up this stuff?
Huh?
Who makes up this stuff?
I don't know, Granny. People, I guess they just
I could tell you, Granny. It's the fucking communists.
start making up new identities.
Not all furries are communists. Hell, some of them are Republicans.
It's not.
He also used some other phrases they referred to furries and other.
Hey, we went to Fox News. Oh boy.
If you haven't heard of a furry, you're about to hear one.
Oh, another one. Sky. Jesus fucking Christ.
This worried parent in the States.
There are kids that are.
I mean, you're not pulling from the right wing.
And so
without telling me you're pulling from the
at
right
least one of our
wing.
schools in our town has in one of the unisex bathrooms, a litter box for the kids that identify as cats.
That was proven to be incorrect.
Daisy, James and I always take a vote on who's going to get the tricky ones. This came your way, Daisy. Furries, and apparently there's some furries. There's a furries trend in your hometown of Brisbane.
Sadly, yes. It turns out that at a Brisbane private school, there are students who have jumped onto
Brisbane.
the furries trend. And
Yeah, Brisbane.
That's what
Nemo's
Carl
area.
Josh lives.
Yeah, that's basically, Nemo's area of town.
Other kin and
Oh,
young
not quite, but
to bring them to the vet. Sign them up for a vet visit and tell them that it's time for them to get spayed or neutered. And I'm pretty certain they're going to stop wanting to be a furry.
Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old Southwest Utah resident suspected of killing Charlie Kirk. Officials said bullets found with the alleged rifle used had messages written on them.
Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulges, OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read,
"See?
Fascist, exclamation
Okay.
point, catch, exclamation point. Up arrow symbol.
I watched this. I don't know how many times and laughed because of the fact of
down arrow symbol.
listening to this motherfucker trying to say this shit was hilarious.
Bella Chow, chow, chow. And a third unfired casing.
Oh, by the way, Bella Chow is also part of the Groypers.
It's also Antifa.
Yeah, I know, but it's mostly the Groypers that use it.
Today on the show, as Charlie Kirk.
Antifa stopped using it a long time ago.
Tyler James Robinson.
But no one really paid attention.
Death penalty. We're going to explore Tyler Robinson's links to a bizarre internet subculture and what his case.
Oh, that island's supposed to be somewhere in Denmark or something?
Violence across America. I'll be speaking with my colleague Josh Boswell, who this weekend exclusively revealed Tyler Robinson's links to the largest furry-themed website on the internet, Fur Affinity. A term that I could
Oh, you heard it, folks. It's time to gas for affinity. It's time to clean up the internet. It's time to clean up the internet. We need to make a list
I
of
think
these
Josh
dwelling
would agree with
places
Jim
and
on this one.
purge them. They've been infiltrated by Antifa. Now, as insane as this is, as we begin to put together a picture of who the assassin was, living with a trans radical, becoming radicalized in leftism and communism, being a furry that's into all sorts of weird shit, having a fur affinity account, and funding furry video games.
Actually, there's no troll data as for that one there, Jim.
Read on this is. Well, for the first 3 or 4 days, they desperately tried to paint it as if this was a right-wing, MAGA-loving Republican. When that obviously struck people as batshit insane, they started saying, well, we don't really know. When that also struck people as being, a little bit far-fetched, I think we do know. This is the approach. Listen to exactly what ABC says. I can't even put it into words. The spin that this is.
Did anybody hear that ABC got shot at?
Murder with
Yeah, I heard.
specific text messages about.
I mean, like I said, it's
where it was
this
hidden.
is just the starting point. So
But also,
expect more.
In a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate, who was transitioning, calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love. So it was this duality of someone who the attorney said not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children, which is one of the aggravating circumstances of this case. And on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner.
Speaking so lovingly about his partner, the furry trans fucker said the phrase, my love. And doesn't that just tug at your heartstring or strings? We should
Springs.
know.
I like that, Jim.
Why are we arresting this? By the way, I
can't even prove that is correct on the transcript.
It is shocking that they would have the balls to try that. But then again, this is a news industry that's printed such headlines as this doozy. How CNN found the Reddit user behind the Trump wrestling gif, where CNN tried to blackmail a teenage boy because he made a gif of Donald Trump and the WWF. And they felt that was so terrible, his life needed to be destroyed for it, and made him promise never to do it again, or they would dox him. Mainstream media is captured. Do we need any more clear example of what is surrounding us right now with the news media empires that exist? How many lawsuits do they need to lose to Donald Trump before they stop this bullshit? What laws need to be reenacted, as in Obama removed them, to stop them from doing propaganda and narratives rather than actual fucking news? Let's take a look at this love story.
Oh, now, God, there it is.
It's hard to read. And I'll leave it up on screen for you.
Again,
I want to peruse it yourself.
I want the actual screenshots
of
the messages, not a transcript.
A detective on this case, and I read this exchange, which is so robotic and unpeople-like. It's unpeople-like even for insane Antifa leftists.
Yes.
If I were to read this, my conclusion would be that it has been prearranged in case the assassin gets caught. It has been prearranged.
It does feel like that, Jim, but it also feels like it's been prearranged by the FBI so they can get this guy.
Assassination would not get in trouble. Don't worry, my love. I'll take care of you by conjuring up some of the most robotic
Chat GPT kind of said, yeah, this is something that we probably do.
Well, this is kind of going in a direction different than what I think you were thinking it's going to go.
Well, I was hoping that he actually, rubbed his brain cells together and actually said what everybody else is saying on the left and on the right. This doesn't sound like anybody.
Yeah.
They would read this.
You got it.
And they would come to the conclusion that human hands did not type this.
Yeah.
Now, aside from the furry issue.
But that's the problem. The FBI is saying that that's what he said.
Trump's announcement from the White House very recently.
Well, it's something I would do, yeah. If I have support from the people back here, I think we'd start with Pam, I think. But I would, if you give me, I would do that 100%. And others also, by the way. But Antifa is terrible.
Are there other groups that you can think of?
There are other groups, yeah, there are other groups. We have some pretty radical groups, and they got away with murder. And also, I've been speaking to the Attorney General about bringing RICO against some of the people that you've been reading about that have been putting up millions and millions of dollars for agitation. These aren't protests. These are crimes, what they're doing.
Now, he followed it up. You can read this. This is from the White House account, which is, of course, putting back out information from Donald Trump on his social media. I am pleased to inform our many USA patriots that I'm designating Antifa a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster as a major terrorist organization. Now, he had designated Antifa once before, but there were certain steps he didn't go through, and applications of law such as RICO acts and others.
At least he's
that would have actually made it useful.
Clarifying that one.
This is where it gets different, because this time we're talking about people that killed Charlie Kirk. And there's not going to be any quarter given. Now, you may be wondering, what's this connection? You know, why would we assume that he's related to Antifa just because he has a furry trans roommate? Well, that would be because Antifa is deeply involved in the trans community, and that a disproportionate amount of trans people are members of Antifa, statistically at odds with what we're told about, versus the general population.
And the statistics for right-wing extremists happens to be white males.
Something he's worked on for over a year or two. Are you confused by who's involved in the anti-fascist trans terror cult linked to multiple brutal homicides? The New York Post published a graphic with my new report showing the key players, including the so-called cult leader, Jack Andreas Ziz Lasota. This was a tranny that was so hell-bent on creating terrorist acts around the world, within the United States and in Europe, that they faked their own death, that they used money from all these different Antifa groups that you see so frequently when you see news clips coming out of Portland and Seattle. They faked their death, they got funded, and they went out and did shit. And Andy is somebody that personally knows how violent this
Yeah, but Charlie Murthan, do you really didn't kill anybody?
Here's a video of him being chased down the street and beaten in the head with a rock. You notice there's Andy running for his fucking life. Of course, the Northwest doesn't really give a shit about citizens anymore, as these masked assholes run through the streets creating mischief and crimes and not being held to account for any of it. By the way, what you're about to watch, nobody got in trouble for any of it. Nobody was apprehended. Nobody was prosecuted. See them tackle him multiple fucking times and start picking up bricks. Also, another thing that seems to be a favorite of Antifa, how many riots around the United States have you noticed where there are pallets of bricks just sitting there, just waiting to be used? It's all so strange. There we go. There's him getting hit in his fucking head. Of course, if we jump ahead a little bit of the video, you'll see they've cornered him in a hotel restaurant somewhere in the city, and are literally trying to get him to come out so they can kill him. He's made it into the hotel. This is all captured by security cameras.
Off my property right now. Holocaust denying bitch. I can't wait for you to come out, Andy. You thought the milkshakes were bad last time. We're gonna beat the fuck out of you, bitch. Y'all, Andy knows here at the Nines Hotel. Andy knows inside the hotel calling the cops on everyone, saying that he's gonna get killed out here.
Nazi scum! You see my face, Andy? Andy! You see
I
my
see it,
face?
but I think that town needs a bond.
You see my fucking face?
He keeps. Sad thing is, I think Bull would agree with me.
Make baseball bats great again.
Now, maybe you're sitting and you're watching these different videos and you're thinking to yourself, okay, Well, the assassin went after Charlie Kirk was in a transsexual relationship. The people that assaulted Andy, no, they were transsexual Antifa members. But that doesn't really mean there's a trend going on. Well, how many stories would you like? How many stories would you need to see the trend that's clearly taking place in this country? How about the Supreme Court troon? The man who attempted to kill Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh identifies as a transgender woman who was deeply mentally ill and suicidal, according to documents listed or first obtained by the Real Daily Wire. What a shock. A mentally ill suicidal troon? I've never heard of such a thing. How about this? Minneapolis school shooter Robin Westman confessed he was tired of being trans. I wish I never brainwashed myself. They're the one that wrote a diary, a tranifesto, talking about how much they wanted to kill little white Christian children. These are happening at an accelerated rate. These are funded and supported by people who tell them that they've done nothing wrong. Everything they think, every action they take is right and just. They're fighting an evil, corrupt capitalist system. They have every right to do this. Anybody that doesn't accept them as a pretty little woman is clearly a transphobe, and they need to be murdered in front of their family. You need to chase them down the streets and corner them in hotels to beat them with bricks. You need to shoot judges that don't agree with you. You need to go to churches and schools and kill people. It's absolutely stunning. But this is the mindset of the last 5 to 10 years. How many riots did you watch between 2017 and 2021 where Antifa members...
I don't know, Jim, you tell me. You covered them all.
City streets burning and breaking and looting and causing violence on everyone and anyone. Have we not seen autonomous zones such as Chaz and Chop be established by Antifa members and then crime escalate to absurd degrees? Chaz was established for less than 2 weeks before three children were murdered because of their wanton criminality. Entire cities were overturned, police driven out, politicians on their knees kowtowing to insane communists who use violence and scream and silence anyone who has anything against them. And that, by the way, is a favorite tool of the left.
Yeah, but
they love to talk about equality.
Chaz was taken over by a fucking madman who claimed himself. I think he was a criminal. I know he was a gang leader.
They don't.
He was
one of the best.
And he took it over.
What happened with Jimmy Kimmel? Jimmy Kimmel fired. ABC cancels his show. People say the FCC stepped in. That's government pressure. That makes it censorship.
There you go, Jem, was the FCC.
Disregarding
the FCC
for being on the
See, you got there eventually.
FCC.
His demographic appeal between 18 and 49-year-old males was 120,000 viewers. 120,000 viewers in the prime time range. I've got 12,000 people watching me right now. I'm some anonymous asshole on YouTube, and I have a 10th Mr. TV Man's audience. 120,000 viewers is something that a large enough Twitch or Kick streamer can surpass. They were doing better numbers than Jimmy Kimmel, who is supported by corporations like Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola that have deep pockets and push his shit into the American zeitgeist. Poor Jimmy.
If you watched it.
I can't believe you fired him. That's censorship, and censorship is wrong. Well, let's see what Jimmy Kimmel had to say about people having the exact same thing happen to them.
On the subject of terrible things posted online, the biggest story of the day today was Roseanne. Roseanne, you're not going to believe this, but she tweeted something outrageous. I know. Yeah, right. The president did it too. It's crazy. Anyway, ABC decided to cancel their highest rated show, Roseanne, following a tweet in which Roseanne compared an African-American woman, a former advisor to President Obama, to an ape, which did not sit well with ABC management or anyone with a brain, really. So they announced
that was taken out of context.
This first season of the show is also
no shit,
last, which is a huge blow to business. I mean, we don't have much on this network. We're hoping the NBA Finals goes 11 games this year. Trump has been suspended from Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and even Snapchat. But don't worry, Mr. President. There are still plenty of apps you do have access to. You still have Spotify to drag.
Oh, he found it so funny. But Jim, you might say, that's not really apples to apples, is it? You're talking about somebody, Roseanne, in the entertainment industry. Talking
I'm
about
hoping that Jim doesn't go past like 11 because I'm gonna hold back my stream for 1 hour.
I know. He might. He's on a tangent.
We'll see what happens.
apples to apples. Let's look at Kimmel's reaction when Tucker Carlson,
We just got to the furry shit. So
personality and
he's on a
entertainment,
tangent.
got pulled off the air.
It's probably gonna go
Fox
for another
News
hour or so.
has severed bow ties with
At
Tucker
least.
Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means. Tucker couldn't be reached for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But what a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock this is. Now Tucker can spend more time at home tanning his testicles and touching himself to that sexy green M&M. Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know. One of the most despicable mother Tuckers ever to appear on American television.
Yeah, he didn't care at all. He wasn't screaming free speech and protect their sacred right to say what they want to say. He was giggling and guffawing as their careers were destroyed. Do you know what it's been like to be a right-winger on the internet for the last 15 fucking years? Do you know that I had both my Patreon and my Teespring store pulled down because I put up a video talking about how insane transsexual surgeries were? And I put that up on a website. It wasn't YouTube. Somewhere off in the beaten path.
Yeah, but Jim, they had protocols too.
I had 7 Twitter accounts killed because it would offend people to say certain things. The most recent of which was Keffels, who also happened to be transsexual, getting upset that I told them that it was crazy and unfair to start posting pictures of Josh Moon's mother and start talking about where she lived and what could be done to her.
Yeah, and Keffels got destroyed by Destiny. Your point being.
Before it, I got DMCA'd. You'll see who did that in a little bit. You have to walk on fucking eggshells.
Wasn't it Brianna
or
Wu?
at least you used to.
Brianna Wu was another one.
Videos you would put up and the live streams that you would produce.
But it was Keffel. I mean, Brianna
would put forward in the
however
forums.
she wants to,
Try
you know,
going
be
on to a
called.
site like Reddit or Twitch and
She-
saying,
I will say Brianna.
if you're not sucking
Brianna
Sullivan's
does
cock,
have
you're getting
some
banned the
common
next
sense
day.
when it
No, and
comes.
that's basically what it is. That's, I mean, but Keffels was kind of destroyed by
Time it happened.
Destiny over time. It was with the Keffel Destiny War. It
They
did happen.
tricked you against fighting back. Do you know who's damaged them quite a bit with the same tools they used against you? People like
Don't say
fucking
Charlie Kirk.
libs of TikTok who repeatedly post people's information on Twitter out in the open and directly connected to what they said.
Uh-huh.
And the left is seething about that.
Some people on the left
You
is
can't restrict
seasoned.
my speech. What was it they said for a decade? Freedom of speech isn't freedom from consequences. Do you remember how they get smug and giggle that whenever a content creator would lose every piece of a platform they had, or a simple user would be banned?
Sure
for daring to
glad
question a
Destiny is
narrative or
gone
having
for a
contrarian
while.
opinion?
How
Yes,
do you
if
know
you-
of,
Remember that.
how do you
How
know
they
of
gleefully
Destiny?
tell you that.
I'm just
But now
wondering.
that it's been applied to them,
Unfortunately, Destiny hits a lot of circles.
they seem to think it's a bridge too far. They want you to
He
hide
does
your
hit a lot of
words
circles.
behind your back so they can hit you more easily. Don't you get upset about Kirk's death. Don't you get upset about our insanity. Don't you get upset about us.
See, she's right. Who doesn't know that prick?
Don't
She's
you get
right.
about us interfering with every fundamental right and liberty you have. How dare you fight back?
I mean,
That's
most people
not
don't know
fair.
that Vosh is into horses,
These are children
but
tantruming.
everybody
They
knows who the
argue
fuck
like a
Destiny
child
is.
argues with their
I
parents.
threw you a
And
link,
they
but I don't know
win
if you
with
want
their
on this one.
parents through attrition, and thus seek to use that same strategy on
Nah,
us.
but just listening to
They
an old man
whine
rat that
long enough
that
and loud enough, they will win. That is what they've always done. That is what they default to. They don't believe in things like you believe in them. They don't hold truths to be objective. Everything is relative and therefore not immutable. It can be moved around. It's tangibly interactable with. One day they can tell you that a certain action is wrong.
I kind of
They'll tell you that
Kind of
no,
agree with you.
right, but
Kinda.
it's only right for them. They have done this for decades, and enough is enough.
Well, I mean, I'll be quite frank. There,
What if other
Jimmy Boy,
more
the right's
supposed
done it for a very long time.
last
So
week things that have been going on are not just people on television. It's not just the mainstream media. It's not just the normal users. It's not
I'll
the
admit,
furry troon
Steven
chaser
Crowder
pulling the
went a
trigger.
little too far
And it's
today,
not
I
just
will
the
say that
television
much.
personalities.
Jesus Christ, a little too far.
Shows.
Hey,
It's the
being fair here.
talking heads
All right.
on different platforms and social media. So we're going to take a look at some of them
Oh,
after
God.
another tiny break. You got to give me a little leeway here. I'm sick as shit, but I came back to do this one because it actually has some significance to me. So when we get back from the break, we're going to take a look at and Destiny.
Oh,
two people that have come up in conversations.
Oh, God.
And judging or going off of what I just said, you should have an idea of where this is going to go.
I told you.
And
This
what
is gonna
kind
be a
of
long one. He's on a tangent.
and reasoning and
He's on his meds.
thought patterns we're going to use to
he must be
apply
on
to
his
them.
good meds.
So we'll do a small break, and then we'll come back and we'll continue with the leftist Twitch heads, Destiny and Hassan.
Yeah, I'm definitely pushing the stream back.
Well,
Hassan
so hey, hang on. Let's correct the record here, and I know Jim can't hear anything like that, but let's correct the record here. Careful's took care of Destiny being a Twitch ad.
Pretty much.
Let's be clear on this one. Destiny did a troll the other day, and it trapped a lot of people because they don't do research or look. They just look, see what's on the internet, and go, "Oh, it must be true." Destiny's been banned off Twitch for 3+ years because, yes, he did advocate for political violence way back when, and that was like one strike. And then he said something else was another strike, but I believe his final strike was whenever he said about Keffels. And then that strike that removed him off Twitch made him go through and made the long document that he made on Keffels.
Correct, which is why I said the Keffels doesn't anymore exist.
So it's like,
see,
it's a funny dichotomy because it's like, we're putting all these people in one fucking group.
I know,
like,
but these are two left heads going at each other.
Yes, no, three.
I know. Hassan is a different conversation altogether. He's with a different political group. Yes, he kind of fits within the left, but he's not really left. He belongs to more of a Muslim group, which is unfortunately very staunch Republican in their ways. So I'm just saying he's got to be extra careful with what he's going to be putting out here, because a lot of his data so far is like half truths.
Well, I mean, he's been.
No, I understand.
He didn't go hook, line, and sinker for like the text messages. So
I think fucking God.
There's that. So,
but he did bring it up. I did kind of.
He did bring it up, but he also did say that, hey, this does not look real.
Which I'm happy. Yeah, he was able to rub a couple of brain cells together and conclude that is TC Rogue just another dev? No, I am not. You could fuck off. Enjoy yourself. You could kiss my fucking derriere. I'm a Canadian, yes. I'm on the west side of this conversation. I don't fucking like Dev and anybody who's associated with Dev. And if you want, I could probably find a way to kill Dev, but unfortunately in Canada it's kind of illegal. So
I don't know, just say he's a straight right male and he had it coming to him. He might be able to get rid of
pretty much. Pretty fucking much, and unfortunately, I don't qualify as that. So, unfortunately,
no, I'm saying you could just say that Dev is a straight white male, and they might let you get away with it.
No, he's. I wish. I wish. He
likes the trim dick.
He does. So he's a protected class. So at the end of the day, Bug, I'm just telling you what the harsh truth is. The data, unfortunately, doesn't line up. And until we get more information from the courts like the autopsy and all that kind of shit, a lot of it's speculative.
Yeah. And I have to agree with Rogue on this one too, because it's like, as much as I want to believe all this stuff, a lot of it just does not add up.
Leaning side of this country, or those that have been captured by it, the ones that are, I would say, at the forefront of it, such as Antifa or NGOs funded by people like Soros. There's another one that's a multi-millionaire, perhaps a billionaire, who's a big CCP head. Of course, it would be a Chinese communist. People like Bill Gates in the tech sector. And their influence trickles down. It's like a corrupt rain. And everything it
Hey,
touches,
Hero, how you doing?
it turns into this horrid shit. You saw a lot of companies, especially back in 2020, with the BLM rising up and burning cities down because St. Floyd was accosted by a police officer, such a good boy, a drug addict that puts guns in women's stomachs and threatens to kill them while robbing them.
Yeah, it was crazy shit.
Gentle giant and an angel amongst us. But when that happened, how many companies do you remember that donated obnoxious sums to Black Lives Matter, an organization which is malfeasant in its usage of money?
Yeah, they bought houses.
To enrich staff members. Do you know Sony gave, I believe it was $50
Yeah, they bought
million?
houses.
Do you know Pokemon gave millions of dollars? Things like that make me question why foreign corporations think they have a right to fund any political movement in the United States. I would consider that an act of fucking war.
Yeah, but Pokemon is most of it was over here. Most of it was over in your guys' department. It was American.
This money trickles down and it touches these corporations, and these corporations and these companies, they own a lot of
You gotta have some place to have their Diddy parties.
YouTube.
Correct. That's where the baby oil comes from. A lot of it.
Themselves, they have parent companies. Alphabet Incorporated is the one that owns Google, which is the one that owns YouTube. Bezos is the one that's the divine, upright, central fucking figure if you really want to talk about Twitch. That's why Elon Musk directed a tweet at him. So while you and I and everyone else has to walk on fucking eggshells, not to make jokes, not to make points, not to be political, not to speak up,
I think Jim's upsetty.
their chosen get to do and say anything they want. And they take that same mindset. Oh, well, it's funny when it happens to you, but when it happens to me, it's a fucking tragedy. How many people on Twitch
that's a class war, Jim.
for egregious things, and they were unbanned within hours? Whereas if that had happened to anybody else on any other platform on the internet,
Oh, please don't bring up Hassan Packer because he's got money.
how many times on Twitch have you seen a streamer that's popular and funded by the people in the know that didn't get their hand slapped even when they said ridiculous things? What ridiculous things might a streamer say that would probably get them fucking euthanized if they said it on YouTube? But as long as you're a leftist or a communist on Twitch, that's totally fucking okay.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Scott, okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott, you wouldn't make him the current, what is his current office? What is he? He's the Richard Lynn Scott, is an American attorney, businessman, politician, Navy veteran, serving as the senior United States senator from Florida.
To be honest, I do think Hassan needs to face some repercussions.
I would love him to, but he doesn't even
do a crusade.
Like I said, he's a weird fish. He's got money.
Crusade, he says. Let's
his uncle
He's a
kind of.
He's not a fish. He's a roach. Let's be honest.
I will agree with that.
He's a perk roach.
I know the big brown buffalo protects his fucking ass, and the motherfucker comes from money.
The audience that didn't like
As I said before, so he's protected.
How I was ready to fucking dust him. What do you think? Do you think I'd last on YouTube? How many times have you gone to look for a video and you can't find it because nobody can say dead, killed, or murdered on this fucking platform? They have to say unalive.
To be honest, I've been able to say a lot of shit on.
Well, they've also
Doesn't
looked
matter.
up a lot of restrictions in the last year too.
By Twitch.
Well, yeah, I mean they've been kind of changing restrictions for a while.
America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm saying.
Let's talk about our favorite flags.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Favorite flag? Yeah, Hezbollah. Look it up.
Oh.
I'm not even kidding. It's actually a dope flag.
Look at that guy's
I have
face.
no problem with the Houthis.
Yes, and that's the guy that kind of questioned inviting him back.
For that reason, then yeah, I'm a fucking terrorism supporter. What are you talking about? I'm sick and tired of it. Left wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there.
Yeah,
okay?
he's a democratic
You need to be
socialist.
gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their fucking
Her song should have
letting their
been
intestines
banned
just
years
ride
ago.
on.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
He should
What is this
have
shit,
been
man?
banned before Dan
Slice
said
him up.
happy birthday to him. And
Mm.
before
Slice him
someone
and
switched
fucking
out to
dice him.
sing it to him.
What the fuck is this?
Because he wasn't fond of Biden.
Oh, a little bit of gamer rage there.
Calls Pelosi a corporate
Airsoft
relic.
or
So
Pelosi.
I mean, really, he's
I know
kind of
that's an airsoft gun.
he's an unusual Democrat if
Do you
he's
think even
gonna
for
get that title.
fucking second that I could do that on YouTube? Or how about Facebook? What platform do you think is going to let anybody really do that? Not even on Twitch. I would guess
You can
are
do that
one of
on Kick.
the few that are on
Go to
Twitch
Kick, Jim.
that
Go to
even try
Kick.
to do any of these things like supporting terrorists, talking about killing
Yeah, the casino does whatever they want over there.
Yes, they do.
replicas.
Didn't Fruit get
you would be gone.
banned off Twitch
They
for
would
a
say
bit
that you are a danger
for
to
her
the
little
advertiser
gift
revenue,
that had the
and
her little
you
chibi model
represent
that had the
an
gun?
existential
Yes.
Yeah.
against Coca-Cola.
But if she did that on Kick, she'd be fine.
There's Hassan doing it.
This was
And it's
before
not just
Kick
you.
was a thing.
There
I
are
know, but again, I'm just saying
Yes,
that Kick is under a different pretensive rule. If
Not
Jim
as bad
wants
as
to say
Hassan.
all
Let's
the
be
pretty
clear on
words that are out there that are
say whatever
considered the
he
no-no
needs.
words everywhere else,
Able to say
then go to
on
fucking
the
Kick.
platform without really any ramifications. Got away with it for quite a while, quite a long time.
Though there are a lot of different criminals there on Kick, so I
No,
mean,
Destiny's account on Twitter got banned for going after Keffels, as well as my account. Roughly around the same time, actually. But do you know whose account got reinstated? It wasn't mine.
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear.
Destiny.
Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing video games. Okay, I'm done today. I don't give a fuck. God, it's gonna be so fucking gay if I get killed in the next.
I still
fucking 2
love the
months of
fact
shit
that
I'm
he's
doing.
got two
Well,
guns
cuck
hanging up in
shit
the
out here.
back behind
Please
his
don't
room.
anybody.
That's
make any
because he's a car-carrying gun owner.
most cuck
He believes in that.
fucking bullshit ass speeches on my side. God, if it happens,
Yeah,
holy
he's also
shit, I'm gonna
mentally
make a death
deranged,
note before I
so-
go
Yeah, I
out.
know, but apparently he was given license to carry.
It's so optics.
Kind of question your ability over there in the United States to weed out the crazies.
Now, I will admit, he probably knows
The whole
how cuck
idea
goes.
of optics cucking, I think, was
Still.
planted directly in his ass.
Fucking still.
By Nick Fuentes when he slept over. Just so you know. I don't know if you're picking up what I'm putting down, but that seems to be a bit of rhetoric that he picked up in the more recent era.
Could ask is why is nobody on the right afraid enough to say, "Hey, Trump, can you tone it down a little bit, bro? We're getting killed out here, literally. Can we chill?" It's unacceptable that feeling doesn't exist over there, and the reason why it doesn't is because I'm ready for the great cleansing, dude.
Cleansing?
Cleansing.
What cleansing?
When we genocide conservatives in this country.
Heartfelt.
Legal
heartfelt
Mindset's in
streams
chat.
right in front of the Honda commercial.
Yeah.
It's the kind of ad.
That
That,
was
I think Legal
everywhere
Mindset's
about-
done with this shit too.
I see
Yeah,
Coca-Cola.
that
wish
was
me a Merry
everywhere
Christmas.
about to file
Let's
class
genocide
asking
the
information
conservatives.
against Metokur.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Crying face emoji.
Now, this one isn't necessarily related to that, but I thought it'd be funny to put this together just as a fuck you, just for the fun of it. I'm going to let it play without commentary. Enjoy.
So just so because I don't want to misrepresent you, strawman you or anything, I want you to just you yourself say what your position is.
I know
Sure.
that.
So,
I
for me
believe
personally,
Rogue
at this
knows
point,
that
I'm pretty
too.
ambiguous on
However,
it.
I
guess
do
don't spend too
believe
much time dwelling
100%
on it. But for the sake of
mentally
the argument, I guess
deranged
the position
people
is that
do not
incest
deserve
should be seen
access
as
to
a morally
weapons.
neutral thing. That you cannot assign a moral evil or a moral wrong to the act of incest itself. And then that's usually people will come in guns blazing trying to do that, and then
Especially people on
the
meth.
default position.
Well, you want to talk to SCOTUS about their decisions from 2008? That's kind of important.
Destiny is so cooked.
I do admit I love this.
It was pretty funny.
I did have a conversation with Destiny's son on Twitter one day. And I told him, if you do something like that again,
I want you to be more
I
edgy.
will.
We can both wear
probably be a
Pakistani
fan.
shirts.
Sure.
Gross. I'm a little too old for that.
You want to do that? We go Chatelet on a
No, I don't know if I really want to associate with the Pakistani dudes, but my kid is actually he's almost 7 years old. Maybe in like a couple years he'll be old enough for the Pakistani stuff. I'll get him a shirt. All right?
Have you had the big conversation with him yet about whether it's morally right to fuck him?
It's pretty hard for me to have big conversations about anything, my dude.
Oh.
3 days later.
Oh, jeez. Fuentes was in his glory on that day.
Would you say that you have daddy issues?
Oh, it was Destiny that did that?
Yes.
In the traditional sense, maybe no. In some way, yeah.
Plus, this is his 14-year-old kid that shouldn't be even on the fucking internet.
He's not around as much as other people's parents are. In some way, yeah, it was a genuine tweet, but it was mostly a joke.
But do you actually think that Hitler was a good guy, though?
Good guy and even better leader.
Good guy.
Hey, I told you he should be on the internet.
Good guy. He ended a lot of child endangerment things. He ended he cracked down on a lot of child abuse in Germany. He cracked down on
this is coming
rape,
from
stuff
Destiny's
like
kid?
that, sex
Yes.
other stuff that has to do with kids. He was a vegan himself and loved animals.
I shouldn't be on the internet.
Has multiple nature
So
protection
this
acts,
happens when your dad's a
and
cut.
also, as a great
Yeah,
leader,
that's
he's
unfortunately
definitely
true.
one of the greatest, if not the
I think
greatest,
he's taller than his dad.
he's ever seen. He fulfilled
Hilarious.
literally all of his promises.
Zoomers rise up, I guess. I don't know. You could take that as you like.
That is the Zoomers.
But I think there is a different rule set that both sides are playing by. One, which I guess could incorporate independence too. Let's be a little more generous. Let's say there are just two sides to this equation. One is the far left, and the other is fucking everybody else. And everybody else has to play by a set of rules that makes them miserable, stifles their creativity, their innovation, their art, their desires, their speech, everything. And every facet of their life, this is how it is. While the left dictates from a false sense of morality and a twisted form of logic that everything they do is right. But in the end, it's just a weak justification to make it okay to be a degenerate. They want to murder normalcy and replace it with degeneracy. That's all it's ever been about.
You're not entirely wrong,
That's
Hero,
why
but
so many people, when you're talking about these leftists, and
you
these
really can't talk about that with the guy with the funny mustache.
they're all molded the same. They all believe the same thing. And so one of their rank and file, somebody who hated life and hated the country and hated God,
How do you know?
he was going to kill Charlie Kirk. That he was going to rob two children of their father, a woman of her husband, a church of their parishioner, a political organization of their activists, a neighborhood of a man who
I think what he was trying to
probably
get
helped
at
out in
is it's
innumerable
like
ways
it's the fact Destiny
that
saying
they
on
had
this
a
shit
right to
about
remove this person from the
the
world
rights, the
because they
conservatives,
said
right leaning side, but yet his
that
son's
person didn't like
saying
because they
this
thought
shit
the
also.
things
No,
I think that's more or less what it's going from, Hero.
No, but to agree to the guy with the funny mustache,
feeling that way and thinking those kinds
he's right,
of
but we really can't talk about that.
are okay. We have allowed the creation of an infrastructure
I mean, both sides are correct.
which is a direct threat against our prosperity. It is a direct threat
Time
against
out. I
our
think it's safe
progeny.
to say
It is a
legal mindsets
direct
now
threat against our
part of the
legacy.
Sweetie Squad.
I'm not surprised.
To be cobbled
I think he
I
has
said-
been.
from the aspect
Yeah, I've always thought that he was.
in the private sector, along with government.
I knew he knew of Metokur.
People have been put
Yeah, I
into
talked to him a
institutional
little bit about it.
positions,
He didn't really know a
into
lot about
administration
Metokur about
positions,
2 or
into
so
human
years ago.
resources, into
Yeah, well,
academia.
it's not hard to
They
take a
work
deep
with a
dive and learn.
collective zeal to make you suffer because
I mean,
you are
didn't he
wicked.
kind of wasn't too sure about
They tear down
VTubers?
your monuments and put up their idols. They tell you the people that are a part of your history are wrong and vile and disgusting, and the things that they
People
did
keep
don't
dehumanizing one,
matter
and I don't get. Yeah,
because
I don't
there
get
is
it.
no
Go make
context
me a
to them
sandwich now.
outside of
Jesus.
their time, their thought, their ideology.
I'll go
No,
make
you
myself.
don't even specify what kind of sandwich.
Engage
I'm probably
with
going to end up
agreement.
sleeping on the couch
They cannot
tonight.
You
accept
are going to be sleeping on the couch, but then isn't it where you generally sleep anyways?
communist leaders.
Shut up.
They will not grant you
I am
peace.
generally worried that we've reached a point of no return.
is not
That point has already been
extreme.
passed. And
That's
gone.
been passed for a
That is
while.
about
A knuckle sandwich. See?
extreme. That is about being black pilled, looking
No,
towards
I
you
love
know-
you, baby doll.
Yeah. That's the best way of
Stand
kissing
together.
up. No, the problem is when it comes down to Charlie
Good
Kirk, there's a
days
lot
I
of people
think I
that
can
will
truly
gain
put
from
forward
this. The
this
left, the right, and the
passion
grifters.
feeds in so many people.
That's a good one right
It's
there. That's
enormous
your basic list.
Maybe not tomorrow, maybe in a generation, but it is most definitely coming. The corruption and incompetence and the lunacy which we have seen wiped away so far has been a step-by-step progress towards where we should have been. Stagnation in both ideas and practices are the death knell of a nation. And while people typically think of conservatives as those who conserve and keep things stationary, we find ourselves having to hold the mantle of those who want to uphold tradition, as well as those who want actual progress towards greater heights. Humanity as a whole stands at the threshold of amazing technologies. I will not see
Oh
them.
God.
You
You already see them,
cannot,
Jim.
but your children and your children's children will.
Is he going to talk about the
artificial general intelligence,
drones again?
AR and VR
Tell us about the
interaction
drones, Jim.
world itself,
All right, I'm kind of
rights, advancements in medicine
it's kind of going how I expected it.
will
I was
revolutionize
going to go, so I'm just going to call this tonight.
Okay. Talk to you later.
See you
extremely
later.
far-fetched or the realms of purely science fiction. You would not be a Gene Roddenberry or
I
a
don't talk
Heinlein
about the
if you
retard who
were to
got shot in
think
the
that
head and
perhaps
military.
in
By
30 or
that.
40 or 50 years, our children could experience a utopic condition called post-scarcity.
I know. Jim's a good guy.
Where their days are filled with seeking
Yeah,
knowledge,
Jim is fine.
Jim Max.
Yeah,
unburdened
Jam Max, not Jim. Jam Max. I was talking about
Shut up.
Jim in his conversation about the drones that we
path
already see
towards that.
in function today.
but walking
Yeah.
hand in hand with that science and that progress and a better and brighter tomorrow must be a reasoned
Yeah, but Jim, we also have artificial wombs that are just coming out to the market.
by fair rules, not equity, equality, where meritocracy is something that reigns.
I honestly have been thinking about how drones would be used, and
There's a
I'm just not having a good thought about them. Yeah, no, I remember a certain movie that had like a dude with Tom Selleck, the dude with a great little mustache. There was a movie in the '80s about drones and robots,
They
and
would talk about how he'd sit in his apartment in the Bronx.
it didn't go well for the people. Let's be honest, didn't go well for the people.
The Greeks making
No.
fun of the Jews, shooting on the Irish. Of course, that's how they grew up. And he talks about what it was like to be a young man going to a college back in the 40s and 50s and that kind of legacy from those two decades, where they felt that the left was suppressed, and how counterculture grew up, and how he was so idealistic that when they took over those institutions, that they would enact true free speech. and he
It
was
was called
disheartened
Runaway.
to
Anyways.
find that when they finally occupied the halls of power, when they were the administrators and the governors, the heads of the corporations, that instead of enacting free speech, they enacted their speech. And they sought to punish anyone else. The counterculture revolutionaries were just as bad as the old shit. We cannot allow that cycle to continue. We have so much ahead of us. You are going to live through an era of it's going to be the high-tech 1950s, 1980s. Every day is going to be a fucking joy. We are threading the needle, doing the goddamn impossible, getting so close to it. This stagnant remnant of a decayed, polluted, perverted ideology is only going to hold us back. You have seen in action the fruits of what it bears. The death of this man who did nothing to deserve it. I wish I wasn't going to die. I wish I would get to see this. But I am so grateful that I get to see the beginning of it. That my last bit of life isn't going to be simply looking at the misery around me and knowing that I was right and that it was miserable, but being able to look at the misery around me and know that it will be fixed.
AI is weird. The optimists are too optimistic, and the pessimists are too pessimistic. AI has a advantage and disadvantage across the board. That's a whole conversation.
Too long for tonight.
It's fascinating, but I'm afraid of it at the same time. Problem is people forget to read the fine print. It could be used for a lot of questionable purposes, and not just for propaganda.
But that's what makes it all the more meaningful. I don't expect going forward to stream very much. My health is not good.
We've heard this, Jim.
Are we actually winding down?
Back to talk
It looks like he is. Thank fucking God.
Something that actually personally affected me, or that I found it be of actual significance. This is one of those things. I don't know how long you've watched me for, or what you've listened to.
Your entire lifetime.
Different phases and different content throughout the years. All sorts of different subjects. But I would hope that in your observation of the things I've created and the things I've talked about, you would come to the conclusion that while not infallible, I'm very good at observing certain behavior patterns.
Yeah, you've also failed as well.
I'm telling you, with the most certainty I have ever had in my life, that America's golden days are truly ahead of it. We've just got to get through a little bit more of the shit until we reach that. And when you get there, when you cross that finish line, when you're holding your children's hand as they look out upon the bounty that the United States of America can provide, remember to say thank you to Charlie Kirk, the American martyr. We'll take one more break and I'll be right back. We'll go through super chats and then call it an evening.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to start prepping for stream.
Hey,
I know
okay.
that he's got something of mine, so if you see it, record it for me, please.
We probably won't be watching.
No, but
the
I will look at the whatever pops up in the afters to grab when you would like.
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
I just sent him one thing.
No, it's so good.
Yeah, and once this stream's over, I've got it set to redirect over to your upcoming stream. So I don't know if we'll wait until you start on your stream.
No, it's easy to wait. I mean, we can go over the whole, AI shit, a little bit of the questionables and a few other different things. Give them, give Mom Acker a bit of time to get her shit in order.
Yep.
All right. See you later.
Laters.
Yep. Later.
But no, going to the AI thing, pretty easy to sum up. It will displace a lot of people in different areas of white collar jobs. Or not.
Mm-hmm.
You also have it kind of going into the surveillance area. So that's going to be terrible. A system that could be flawed, doing the whole black and white check boxes where a lot of things kind of land in the gray. That's going to be terrible, and the list goes on. So yeah, it's got some benefits. It's got some terrible ideas, but unfortunately for this particular Metokur rant, I'm kind of 50-50 split. He kind of went in the direction I expected him to go.
But he
He
didn't
did
really go that direction.
no, but he didn't fully commit it, which was nice for a change. So, being angry at the situation, hell, I was angry at the situation. So,
Dude, I remember not yesterday, but two Fridays ago, the Friday the incident happened. I remember you going on. I was like, his fucking kid was there. It's like,
yeah,
okay, I wasn't there. I wasn't expecting you to be that miffed about it.
I don't care whether you want to kill a person or not. Don't do it in front of their fucking children. Sorry, that it scars these kids for life. That kid's gonna be waking up in terrors and sweat looking for dad or mom and not seeing them there. And that's for a lifetime. Sorry. Did he deserve to die? No. I can understand why somebody would want to do it.
I can understand. So, and that kind of comes down to dichotomy of, the sides, the thing that's going on, the mentality of what's going on to this point right now. I mean, I can get, somebody can get to that point and say this and wish this. I mean, I get it. But it also comes along to a certain point of, when things kind of go over the line. And like I said, unfortunately for, people who's on the right and people who is on the left, there are certain people. And like I said, I'm not pointing the finger.
No.
When I say this, not pointing the finger to the entire pie. So just get when I say that. But there are fringe people within all sides, left, right, and center, and not even a part of the left, right, and center.
Correct.
Who take things to the umpteenth degree, whether it be, being violent, reckless, or just downright careless. It's on all sides. And the problem is I can point to a thing and go, well, there are nobody. Well, it doesn't matter if there are nobody or not. It's still somebody who aligns with this one thing that's espousing these things. So it's like, whenever I say it's all sides, it's certain people within all sides that's doing this. And people just do not want to admit that for whatever stupid fucking reason.
No, and again, I'm gonna preface: adults are gonna adults. I don't care what adults are going to do, but when adults include children into this conversation, whether it be sexually, violently, or whatever, you're going to create an entire cycle, and that cycle is going to continue. And it's bad enough that we look to like North Korea as a good example of dictatorship in that, even though there are a bunch of atheists, but that degree of violence continues simply because of the factor that it's allowed to. Hell, the sister could probably be taking over afterwards, and her fledglings and whatnot will still do exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Addressing this point here, unfortunately, I think the right is going to overcorrect. No shit.
I know.
I seen that coming last Friday. That's the reason why I made this post right here. Yes, I know Metokur streaming. I know he's coming back, and I know he's chatting a little bit, but he's getting ready to read super chats. If you've been here for any point in time, you know we don't really do the super
Really
chats.
carry it, yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of seen that anyways, and I wrote this is like taking a step back from being online and looking at the Charlie Kirk assassination more closely. It feels like it's a lit powder keg that was already waiting to blow. Both sides have pushed past the point of no return. What started as simply holding people to a standard they set for themselves has twisted into something else entirely, and I don't see anyone stopping there. Looking at it now, I realize holding others to their own standards is too easily blown past. Escalation always follows because people want to get more even. I was mistaken in thinking folks could stop at just that. Think just fairness, irrational people can't do that, and it shows. I get why people want to push back, to call out hypocrisy, but now it's less about accountability and more about grinding the other side down, proving them wrong at all costs. It's a cycle that just keeps getting nastier, and every round digs the divide deeper. The reality is no one side is completely correct and no one side is completely wrong. Both are locked into this mess, and both need major change. But the way things are built online doesn't allow for that. Outrage is rewarded, conflict gets clicks, and compromises get buried. That's why the temperature never drops, it only rises. And honestly, looking at where it's heading, I don't see people pulling back. It's only going to keep ramping up. And unless something fundamental shifts, the idea of either side prevailing or even coming together seems like it's already lost. That's why I feel myself needing to step back. I can sense I'm getting pulled deeper into the same cycle I'm criticizing, and before I let it eat at me, I need to center myself and focus on what actually matters, me and my family. There's a reason why I said that, because you can see both sides doing it. And I know he'll get pissed because I said this and stuff like that, but a good example is the Dragon's Treasure.
Yes.
Look, I love the man. I consider myself on good terms with him, but I'm gonna tell you right now, he is way too fucking emotional about a lot of this stuff posting, especially about politics online. Okay, he is going down the same road Destiny Hassan started off on years ago. And I know he's not gonna want to listen to it, and he's in a mindset right now he can't fucking comprehend it. But he's a good fucking example of it.
No, and that's the problem. Everybody has a degree of PTSD in some form. There's a lot of emotional factors that come into play here. Most people have watched a violent behavior in front of them, whether you like the man or not. How he died was a violent way, in front of thousands, millions. We don't know, and it's being repeated over and over and over again on every different news channel available. The conversation doesn't end. And then you had another school shooter after the fact, on the same fucking day. So I'm looking at the United States as a powder keg. Yes, I'm Canadian. It pretty much indicates in the fucking title, the Canadian Rogue. TC for short, for those that don't want a fucking long-winded, But you're going to have to step back, readjust. Hell, get therapy. Talk to somebody about this situation, how it made you feel, so you get a better understanding going forward. The Kirk kids are going to have to go through some degree of psychology, counseling, for a very fucking long time, so they can be stable. Otherwise, they could be the next school shooter. There's a high probability of that because of this. Violence just creates more violence down the road. And this is where I get frustrated. This is where I get upset. All right. So you may hate me because I'm a centralist, a person who just kind of looks at both sides and see, you guys are fucking nuts, but I can agree on a few things.
Yeah. And trust me when I say this, because I know there's some people like Bug in chat. I know he's kind of directing like ire towards you just a little bit, but
it's fine.
Trust me, I get it. Me and Rogue have had many of skirmishes in DMs revolving the political climate and how we disagree with either how I will disagree with how he characterizes it, and he will disagree with how I characterize it.
Yeah.
Trust me, I get it. It can be infuriating sometimes, and it's infuriating for Rogue going at me the same way.
Yes. But it's also kind of fun.
It is fun because then we settle down, and then we discover, hey, our fundamentals are not that far disaligned.
We have a commonality.
It's just how we get there is very different.
Yes. And look, I don't agree with everything that Kirk has stated or said or has put out there on his shows, or even with his little Q&A that he does. He gets a lot of things right, he gets a lot of things wrong, but fundamentally speaking, I know where he's trying to go. He's not trying to destroy everybody. He's trying to make his universe, his world better than what it is. Unfortunately, even some people on the left are trying to do the same thing, but in a different route. Yeah, there's going to be conflictions here and there, but get past those. Find a commonality. Fuck, I do it with Sparky. Hell, I do it with Gem. Penn, who's a staunch Republican for whatever reason. Her family is pretty much Democratic. I deal with her on that one too. Do I hate these people? I fucking run shows with them. Yeah, I banter with them. Yes, I make fun and poke and all that kind of stuff. But again, it's us to see the broader picture. I'm a big picture person.
Yeah, and it's like I said before, as much as I want a lot of shit that's being said about this shooter to be absolutely 100% correct, there's still an air of doubt about a lot of stuff that's being put out there. And the thing is, when people start going extreme with how they paint things, you start giving that side or that person wiggle room to get out of either the brunt of it or all of it all fucking together. It happens all the fucking time. Like I said, we live in a nation of rule and law. There are certain fundamental processes, whether we agree with them or not. And trust me, some of them I don't fucking agree with. Like I said, I consider myself a staunch Second Amendment supporter. I support 2A all the way. However, I do see the realization of there are some people within this country that do not need access to firearms because they, with their own actions, have lost that right.
Yeah. I don't care whether they sit on the Republican side or the Democratic side. I don't care where
they
sit.
They fall either side. It does not matter. It's all sides of that pie. It's not just left. It's not just right. It's all sides of that fucking pie. So as much as I advocate for Second Amendment all the way, I do realize that there's limitations to that need to be realized. And unfortunately, we have to restrict ourselves on that. Same thing with the First Amendment.
Yeah.
There are certain things we cannot do. We cannot advocate for fucking political violence. We cannot advocate for violence altogether. You cannot go, hey, I want someone to shoot this motherfucker. You cannot say that. That is an act of violence. That is incitement of violence. That is against the law. Fundamentally, if you want to go by the Constitution itself, it's perfectly fine because freedom of speech, bro, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Our Constitution is written in a way as it is a guiding front to what our ideas of our country is. And that guiding front is regulated by rule of law.
Not just that, but it has an adaptability, and unfortunately, many people understand that it was designed to be adapted, knowing that over time things are going to change, and so this rule of law is going to have to be amended. You go through this entire process. If you do it staunchly across the board, you guys are fucked.
Yeah, and like I said, unfortunately, the right. Here's how I envision the right now. If I had to come back on this, because if we look at the overall picture of how the right is taking this compared to how the left is taking this, and like I said, the evidence is out there. The evidence is out there from all the fucking Twitch streamers, TikTokers, fucking idiots on
Social media
Twitter and
birds.
Blue Sky. Yes, just everywhere on fucking social media. You can see it. People at the right saying these one things because they're tired of it, because they dealt with it for years. And to a point, it's just gonna snap. And you have people on the left cheering it, supporting it, because they've never had any consequences for the shit that they have spouted for decades now. And the best thing that I can reference for this, and it's a quote from a show, and I know for a fact that a lot of people really criticize the shows and stuff, but I really feel like that this I really feel like that this encapsulates it.
Yeah, you got it. You got there. You got there.
Yeah, it's from Andor,
Oh God,
which
man.
yes, it's Disney. I know everyone hates the Disney Star Wars stuff.
No, but they
I
did.
I think there's a lot of stuff in the Disney realm for Star Wars that they've done good. There's a
I
lot
think
of stuff
Andor
that's
is one of the
bullshit.
best one.
Yeah, but I really feel like you can. I really feel like a lot of people at the right now can empathize with Luthen in this monologue right here.
And what do you sacrifice?
Calm, kindness, kinship, love. I've given up all chance at inner peace. I made my mind a sunless space. I share my dreams with ghosts. I wake up every day to an equation I wrote 15 years ago from which there's only one conclusion. I'm damned for what I do. My anger, my ego, my unwillingness to yield, my eagerness to fight, they set me on a path from which there's no escape. I yearn to be a savior against injustice without contemplating the cost, and by the time I look down, there's no longer any ground beneath my feet. What is my sacrifice? I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. Now, the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. So what do I sacrifice? Everything!
Yeah, people ask me if I have a soul, or I know what a soul is within people. Forget that shit. I gave that up. I see people for who they are.
Yeah, and this is a great question too. It's like the big question for the right is: do you keep your humanity and maintain your footing, or do you turn it into monsters to fight monsters? And I think that answer is pretty clear, especially when you look at the stances that like Jim's put up, Kosh's put up, all of the commentators, the old Gamergate channels and stuff like that. I think when you go through and look at all this stuff, like I said, my main thing is call it what it is. Just call it what it is. A lot of people So the cancel culture bullshit.
Yeah.
Here's a good example of it. So cancel culture, and the most prominent examples that we give from left to right. And it's like if you had a opinion that someone disagreed with you on, that they will go through and try to contact your employers and try to get you fired because it was wrong think. And that could either be for either stuff with like Antifa or Black Lives Matter or transgender stuff or gay rights or LGBT, anything on that spectrum. And the left would take opinions from people like, well, I don't like this opinion because it's dangerous, harmful rhetoric, and they would go to the employer, and the employer would either get rid of them, they lose a job and stuff like that. Now, when it comes down to it, when it comes to that aspect, it's up to the employer whether they want to associate with that or not. That is what the definition of cancel culture has become from when it goes to left to right.
Mm-hmm.
You can say the same thing right to left as it's going into right now. And it's like, people celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, as abhorrent as it is, as monstrous as it is, and just not right. It's inhuman if you want to ask anyone. As long as they're not calling for violence, like I said, you half the clips I've seen, half of them is like, yes, you can look at this and go, it's call to violence. It is a direct call to violence. Other half is just being shit fucking people. I don't think the people doing it just being shit fucking people, using that tool on them is the exact same thing as using the tool of going with any of the ideologies that the left has gone at from the right to get them removed. It's the exact same thing. And
Rip this chat.
Rip this chat.
Thank you.
I really don't care if the right wants to use those tools, but call it what it is. Do not fucking justify it.
Look,
I support it on the fact of call to violence. I support on the fact of inciting violence. That, on that hand, I find it okay and acceptable to do this because that's not protected any First Amendment rights. However, being a shit human being and laughing on it is. And unfortunately, it comes down to the employer and what they are okay with. And on either side, the employer is going to make sure, depending on what kind of company it is going to ensure that their brand is okay. And they have somebody who is some sort of brand risk, either because they laughed at an abhorrent thing, or these people have ideologies that they don't agree with. It's up to them. And to me, I see no difference in it.
I have to remember something that most people will kind of forget because time is questionable, kind of goes on. We tend to forget certain shows that borrowed heavily from major philosophers. You remember Deep Space Nine, Sparky?
Yeah.
Remember the quote from Gal Dukat?
I'm sorry, what?
The quote from Dukat.
Nah, off the top of my head, Deep Space Nine wasn't really one Star Trek.
One man's villain is another man's hero.
Okay.
That is pretty much a restructured line thought process from a massive philosopher of our day, Nietzsche. He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze into an abyss long enough, it will gaze at you. And this is where we're at. You're pretty much wanting to become the monster to fight evil just to be the monster. Congratulations.
Yeah. It's the right harps on accountability. The issue is that we expect everyone to maintain personal accountability. Currently, we're standing on the principle of enforcing our morals and accountability. And that's the thing. It's like, unfortunately, the way I see the situation, it's a lot of people enforcing the morals, stating that those morals are the principal founders of the side that they're fighting for. And again, good example that I can look at will be on the left side. That's not the case, because there's three dichotic factors on the left that I can point at, the media influencers, but they don't agree with each other and they hate each other's guts. Hassan, Destiny, Cuffles.
Oh,
Three
yeah.
examples right there. They all fight for the left side. That's their side. That's the principles that they go with.
Yeah.
However, they don't agree with each other.
No.
And yes, we can go to the left and encompass all three of them into it. But there's other people down on the left that also don't agree with them and want nothing to do with them. Same thing on the right. There's extremists on the right. Whether they have a big influence or small fucking fish in the ocean. They don't represent the entire fraction of what the right is. And yeah, and Captain Hook's right. She's more left on some things than I am. And that's another thing with me. It's
And
like,
yet you two got married and have a kid. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The left single unity principle is self-gratification. You could say that to the right as well.
I mean, exactly.
I mean,
there's always some aspect. There is no just side in this. No one side is all the way correct and all the way wrong. It's like I said last night. It's psychotic people using a side as a shield. And that's what it is. I still come down to it right now on what I said last night, and I was still going this, and I'll go to my grave on this. I think we need to go back to the fucking Fairless Papers. I think we need a fucking major overhaul on our fucking governmental structure. The party system is a corrupt fucking system. And the founding fathers, when they made the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and everything, all the 9 yards going up to it, they fucking knew the party system was a terrible fucking system, because they allow one side or another the ability to gain powers on the equivalent of that up to a king.
Actually, Hero the Meek will never inherit the earth. It's been proven multiple different times. The Meek doesn't inherit.
Yeah.
The warlords do.
Yeah. But it's like, I do away with the fucking party system.
No, I
absolutely fucking do away with it. And that's why I feel like we need to go. Honestly, you want to stop this bullshit? Stop having sides. Because it doesn't matter if everyone agrees with all sides. There are gonna be sides. Either you're for us or you're against us. And it's like that with the right to the left or the left to the right. It creates tribalism.
Yeah. See, Hero, I know you're supposed to be quoting from the Bible in some quote. You get the afterlife if you're a Christian. You don't get the earth. Just say. I understand the Bible a little well. Just a little well. So, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Matthew 5:5. And it's been proven wrong each and every time. Just, But regardless, that's a rant. I'm going to stop. But no, I think we've gone on just so long. I think Akko
Yeah,
probably got hurt.
Akko is live. He is.
They are.
Yeah, they went from the intro screen to the actual streaming screen. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm putting a link in chat, and once I hit the end stream button, it will automatically direct everyone over there. So we bid you adieu. Thank you for listening to our rants or whatever. And again, these are just our opinions. So
Yeah.
you
Take
like
them as
them,
they
like
is
them.
or don't. I don't care.
Yeah. So with that, have a good night, everyone. Be nice over at Akko's chat. I may or may not hop in over there. It just depends if they give me the okay or not. So with that, have a good night, everyone.
Go touch grass, bitches.